My beloved child, stop scrolling. This is not random, and it is not late. I am speaking to you now because your heart is standing at a quiet crossroads, and what you do with the next few moments matters more than you realize. You didn't open this by accident. Something in you knew you needed to hear this, even if you couldn't explain why. So stay with me. Listen with intention, not distraction, because every word that follows is meant to realign what fear, delay, and exhaustion have tried to distort. Do not half listen, do not rush ahead, and do not leave early. This message is layered, and what begins as comfort will end as direction. If you've been waiting for confirmation, clarity, or courage, remain here until the end, because what you receive will mark a turning point you cannot undo. My child, before you tell yourself that this moment is ordinary, before you dismiss this as just another set of words passing before your eyes, I need you to slow your breathing and listen with the part of your heart that still hopes, even when it feels tired. This is not an accident. I did not arrive late, and you did not arrive early. You arrived on time, at the precise intersection where your weariness meets my intention. Long before your fingers touched the screen, long before your mind began searching for answers you could not put into words, I saw this moment, and I claimed it. I marked it. I set it aside as sacred. You think you found this because you were curious, because you were restless, because something told you to open it, but it was I who stirred that restlessness. It was I who allowed the quiet dissatisfaction to rise in you, not to torment you, but to guide you. I know how many times you have told yourself, it's probably nothing, and yet something in you keeps leaning forward, keeps listening, keeps hoping that somewhere, somehow, I am still speaking. Hear me now, I am. I have been. And I am speaking to you in this moment because your soul has been crying out long before your lips ever formed the prayer. There are moments I allow to pass you by gently, and then there are moments I interrupt. This is an interruption. Not to frighten you, not to pressure you, but to catch you before you slip back into believing that your life is a series of random events. Nothing about you is random. Not your timing, not your longing, not even your confusion. I allowed you to feel unsettled because comfort would have kept you asleep, and I love you too much to let you sleep through what I am about to do in you. And as I speak this truth over you, I want you to understand something deeply. This moment did not begin when you opened this message. It began when you first wondered if I still saw you. It began in the nights when you lay awake replaying conversations, regrets, prayers that felt unanswered. It began when you asked questions you were almost afraid to ask, when you whispered, God, if you're real, if you still care, I need something, anything. My child, I heard that whisper, and I have been guiding you ever since, even through paths you did not understand, even through delays you thought were detours. You may have felt led nowhere, but you were being led here. I know you are tempted to measure significance by how loud something feels, by how dramatic it appears, but I move most powerfully in quiet intersections like this, where your defenses are low and your heart is open. That is why this moment feels different. That is why you didn't scroll away. That is why something in you said, stay. That was not instinct. That was recognition. Spirit recognizing spirit. Purpose recognizing timing. You are not here because you are strong. You are here because you are willing. And willingness, my child, is enough for me to begin. This is not coincidence layered with emotion. This is alignment. This is me saying, you are not unseen. You are not late. You are not forgotten. Let this truth settle before we go any further, because everything that follows rests on this foundation. I brought you here on purpose, and I will not waste this moment with you. My beloved child, before you try to explain yourself, before you defend your strength or minimize your pain, let me speak plainly to you. I see what you've been carrying. Not just the visible responsibilities that others praise you for, not just the roles you fulfill or the expectations you meet, but the hidden weight, the quiet heaviness you lift every morning before the day even begins. I see the emotional labor you perform without applause, the silent calculations you make just to keep going, the way you gather yourself before stepping into rooms where no one asks how you really are. You have learned how to function while hurting, how to smile while breaking, how to say I'm fine while your soul whispers, I'm tired. And my child, I have never confused your silence with strength. I have never mistaken your endurance for ease. I know how long you have been holding things together with trembling hands. I know how often you have told yourself, just get through today, and then tomorrow ask the same thing of yourself again. You have carried responsibility on your back like a burden you were never meant to bear alone, and yet you bore it anyway. Not because it was light, but because you are faithful. Faithful to your family. Faithful to your calling. Faithful even when you felt empty. But hear me now, faithfulness does not mean you were meant to carry this alone. There is a difference between being strong and being supported, and you have lived too long surviving on strength without rest. I see the contrast between who you appear to be and how you feel inside, and I am not disappointed in you for it. I am drawing near because of it. You have been brave beyond measure, consistent beyond comfort, loyal beyond your own capacity, and I have watched every moment of it. And let me take you deeper, because this weight you carry is not just situational, it is layered. Layer upon layer. Expectation upon expectation. You carry the weight of what was said to you, what was done to you, what was never resolved, and what you never had the words to explain. You carry old disappointments like stones in your pockets, telling yourself they don't matter anymore, yet feeling they're dragged with every step forward. You carry the memory of times you had to grow up too fast, forgive too quickly, or adjust too often. You carry the pressure of being the dependable one, the strong one, the one who figures it out when no one else will. And somewhere along the way, my child, you forgot that I never asked you to be your own savior. I never asked you to hold the whole world together. I never asked you to absorb everyone else's chaos just to keep the peace. Yet you did. I did it again. You did it because you loved deeply. You did it because you hoped things would get better if you just endured a little longer. You did it because walking away felt heavier than staying. But listen to me now. What you have been carrying has been costing you more than you admit. It has cost you rest. It has cost you joy. It has cost you softness. And I see how tired you are of being the one who can handle it. I see the moment when strength stopped feeling empowering and started feeling lonely. That moment did not escape me. I was there when you exhaled in private and wondered how much longer you could keep doing this. And I want you to know something that may feel unfamiliar. You do not have to prove your worth through endurance. You do not earn my love by suffering well. You are already loved, already seen, already enough. So let me say this gently, but clearly, with repetition because your heart needs to hear it more than once. You do not have to carry this alone. You do not have to carry this forever. You do not have to carry this anymore. What you have been holding was never meant to live in your chest like a constant ache. It was never meant to sit on your shoulders like a permanent weight. You have normalized exhaustion because you did not know another way, but I am offering you something different now. I am offering you release. Not all at once, not dramatically, but truthfully. Totally. Safely. I am inviting you to begin placing down what you picked up out of survival. You do not have to drop it all today, but you must stop telling yourself that you are weak for feeling it. The fact that you or still here, still hoping, still listening tells me everything I need to know about your heart. And my child, if you will let me, I will teach you how to live without constantly bracing for impact. I will teach you how to rest without guilt. I will teach you how to trust without fear. But first, you must allow yourself to believe this truth. I see what you've been carrying, and I am not asking you to carry it one more step alone. My child, stay with me. Do not rush past this moment as if it were ordinary, because it is not. I know how quickly the world trains you to move on, to swipe away what feels uncomfortable, to scroll past what asks you to feel something deeply. But I am asking you, no, I am calling you, to pause, to stay, to listen before you scroll away, not because I need your attention, but because you need this stillness. There are moments when I whisper softly and moments when I interrupt deliberately, and this is one of those interruptions. If you walk away too quickly, you will miss what your spirit has been leaning toward for a long time. I know you are tempted to think, I'll come back to this later, but later has been the language of delay, and delay has quietly cost you clarity before. Hear the contrast clearly. Scrolling is easy, but healing requires presence. Distraction is comfortable, but transformation asks you to stay awake. And I did not bring you here just to brush past you. I brought you here to speak into the spaces where you have been most distracted, most weary, most unsure. This is not pressure. This is invitation. Stay, not because you are afraid of missing out, but because something in you already knows this is different. That knowing is not coincidence. That knowing is recognition. Recognition of my voice calling you back to yourself, calling you back to me. And let me tell you why this matters so much right now. You are standing at a quiet crossroads, not loud, not dramatic, but decisive. One path leads back into the familiar rhythm of distraction, numbing, and endurance. The other leads into awareness, healing, and truth. And the difference between those two paths is not effort, it is attention. That is why I say, listen before you scroll away. Because scrolling keeps you moving without direction, while listening roots you where growth can happen. I know how many messages compete for your attention every day. Voices telling you who to be, what to fix, what to fear, what to chase. But my voice does not compete, it calls. It does not shout, it draws. And if you listen closely, you will notice that my voice does not bring anxiety, it brings clarity. It does not rut you, it steadies you. It does not condemn you, it reminds you of who you are. You have spent too long reacting to noise, and too little time responding to truth. And truth requires presence. That is why I ask you to stay just a little longer. Not forever. Just to hear. Just now. Just long enough for your heart to remember what peace feels like without distraction. Stay with me because what I am building in you cannot be rushed. I am not delivering a quick reassurance to make you feel better and send you back unchanged. I am guiding you into awareness that will reshape how you move forward. And awareness takes time. It takes honesty. It takes willingness. You do not need to understand everything I am saying yet, but you do need to remain open. Let the words settle. Let the silence speak between them. Let your breathing slow. Because when you stop scrolling, you start hearing. When you stop rushing, you start receiving. And when you stop numbing, you start healing. This is why the enemy of your soul has always tried to keep you distracted, not because you are weak, but because you are receptive when still. Stillness is dangerous to fear. Stillness is threatening to life. Stillness allows truth to rise. And I want you to have that truth. Not someday. Now. So stay. Not out of obligation, but out of trust. Trust that I would not ask you to pause unless there was something worth receiving. Trust that your time here is not being wasted. Trust that the quiet pull you feel is guiding you toward life, not away from it. Stay with me, my child. We are only beginning. My beloved child, I know the exact words you have spoken when no one else was listening. I know the ones you whispered under your breath, the ones you barely dared to form because part of you was afraid of being disappointed again. God, if you're there, God, if you still see me, God, if I'm not imagining this, give me a sign. You didn't always say it out loud, but your heart said it over and over again. In moments of confusion, in moments of exhaustion, in moments when hope felt risky and belief felt fragile. And I want you to hear this clearly, without doubt, without hesitation. I heard you. Every time. Not one of those questions was ignored. Not one of those quiet pleadings fell into emptiness. But my child, understand this. Signs do not always arrive the way you expect them to. You were watching for thunder while I was preparing a whisper. You were scanning the horizon for something dramatic while I was arranging something precise. You wanted certainty wrapped in spectacle, but I chose confirmation wrapped in intimacy. Because what you truly needed was not proof that overwhelms you, but assurance that meets you. That is why this moment feels personal. That is why it feels like these words are speaking directly to you. Because they are. This is not a general message scattered into the air. This is not coincidence dressed up as comfort. This is me answering the question you were afraid to ask one more time. You asked for a sign, and here it is, not flashing, not shouting, but steady, intentional, unmistakable in its timing. And let me explain something your heart already senses but your mind keeps questioning. Signs are not meant to replace trust. They are meant to awaken it. I do not give signs to control you. I give signs to remind you that you are not alone in the waiting. You were never asking for certainty because you doubted me. You were asking because you were tired. Tired of guessing. Tired of interpreting silence. Tired of hoping without direction. And I did not rebuke you for that tiredness. I responded to it. I allowed your hunger for confirmation to bring you here, to this moment, because I wanted to answer you in a way that would not fade once the emotion passed. The sign is not loud because it must last. It must stay with you when you close this message. It must echo when doubt tries to return. It must stand firm when circumstances still look uncertain. That is why I chose words. That is why I chose timing. That is why I chose you. You are not weak for wanting reassurance. You are human. And I am a father who knows when his child needs to hear. Yes, I'm here. Yes, I see you. Yes, you're on the right path, even if it doesn't feel like it yet. The enemy would like you to believe that asking for a sign means your faith is failing. But hear me now. Asking for a sign means your faith is reaching. And I always meet a reaching heart. So let this sign do what it was meant to do, not replace your thinking, but re-anchor your spirit. Let it quiet the voice that says you are imagining things. Let it soften the fear that says you waited too long. Let it interrupt the lie that says heaven has moved on without you. I am still here. I am still involved. I am still guiding. And I will say this again, because repetition is sometimes the only way truth breaks through fear. You asked for a sign, and I answered. Not late. Not early. Exactly on time. Do not rush past that truth. Sit with it. Let it sink deeper than emotion and settle into conviction. Because there will be moments ahead when you will need to remember this. When the feeling fades but the truth remains. And when that time comes, this moment will stand as a marker in your story. a quiet but powerful reminder that I speak, I respond, and I do not abandon those who call on me, even when they call in whispers. My precious child, I know you are tired, and not in the way sleep alone can fix. This is not the kind of tiredness that disappears after a good night's rest or a quiet weekend. This is soul-deep fatigue, the kind that settles into your bones, the kind that makes even small decisions feel heavy, the kind that whispers, "I don't know how much more I have left to give." And before you apologize for feeling this way, before you tell yourself you should be stronger or more grateful or more resilient, let me speak first. I know. I have known for a long time. I have watched you push past your limits again and again, telling yourself you just need to hold on a little longer. I have seen you show up when you felt empty, give when you felt depleted, encourage others while silently needing encouragement yourself. You have become skilled at functioning through exhaustion, but that does not mean you were designed for it. You have normalized weariness because rest felt unavailable, because stopping felt dangerous, because slowing down felt like letting someone down. But my child, you are not failing because you are tired. You are tired because you have been faithful. And faithfulness without rest will eventually feel like drowning. That is not what I want for you. Here is a contrast I need you to see clearly. Endurance is not the same as life. Surviving is not the same as living. And you have been surviving for too long. You have told yourself that this season will pass, that relief will come eventually, that once this one thing resolves you will finally breathe again. But each time one weight lifts, another replaces it. And slowly, quietly, hope starts to feel heavy too. I see the way you brace yourself every morning, preparing for impact before the day even begins. I see the way you measure your energy, rationing it carefully because you don't know when you'll get more. I see the way joy feels distant, like something you remember more than experience. And I am not angry with you for that. I am concerned. Concerned because you were not created to live in a constant state of depletion. You were not meant to run on empty faith and borrowed strength. You were meant to be replenished, renewed, held. That is why I am calling your attention to your tiredness. Not to shame you, but to invite you into something different. Rest is not a reward for finishing everything. Rest is a requirement for continuing at all. So hear me now with gentleness and authority woven together. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to stop striving. You are allowed to admit that you cannot do this alone. You do not have to collapse to earn my care. You do not have to break completely for me to intervene. I am offering you rest now, not after everything is fixed, not after you prove something, not after you reach some invisible standard. Come to me as you are, tired, worn, uncertain, and let me carry what you no longer can. This does not mean giving up. It means handing over. There is a difference. Giving up is rooted in despair. Handing over is rooted in trust. And trust, my child, is where renewal begins. I will teach you how to rest without fear, how to pause without guilt, how to receive without feeling unworthy. But you must stop telling yourself that exhaustion is the price of obedience. It is not. I never asked you to destroy yourself to follow me. I asked you to walk with me. And walking together means shared weight, shared pace, shared strength. Let this be the moment you stop pretending you're fine and start allowing yourself to be held. I am here. I have not missed your tiredness. And I am ready to meet you with rest that reaches deeper than sleep and peace that lasts longer than relief. My child, I know how deeply you interpreted the waiting as a verdict. I know how easily time twisted hope into doubt and silence into accusation. You told yourself that if I truly wanted this for you, it would have happened already. You wondered if the closed doors were evidence that you misunderstood me, misheard me, or imagined the promise altogether. But listen carefully now, because I am about to untangle something that has been knotted inside you for far too long. The delay was not rejection. It never was. Rejection pushes away. Preparation pulls closer. Rejection discards. Preparation refines. And what you experienced, though painful, confusing, and heavy, was preparation. I did not withhold to punish you. I withheld to protect you. I did not delay because I forgot. I delayed because timing matters more than desire, and readiness matters more than urgency. You were asking for the destination while I was strengthening your footing. You were focused on the arrival while I was focused on who you were becoming along the way. And I know that is not what you wanted to hear in the waiting. I know it would have been easier to receive what you asked for than to endure what you went through. But easy does not always mean safe, and quick does not always mean kind. I was being kind to you in ways you could not yet see. Let me say this again, because repetition is necessary where pain has rewritten truth. I did not say no. I said not yet. And not yet is not the language of absence. It is the language of intention. Every closed door had a reason. Every stalled season had a purpose. Every unanswered prayer was still held in my hands, not discarded at my feet. You thought you were being overlooked while I was actually being precise. Precise about what you needed to survive what was coming. Precise about what needed to be healed before it could be built upon. Precise about the strength required to sustain what you asked me for. There were things that had to fall away before other things could stand. There were patterns that had to be broken before new paths could open. And yes, there were moments when the delay felt unbearable, when it felt like everyone else was moving forward while you were standing still, watching opportunities pass, watching doors open for others that remained closed for you. I saw the comparison. I saw the questions. I saw the quiet resentment you tried to push down because you didn't want to be ungrateful. And I did not condemn you for it. I understood. Because waiting stretches the heart, and stretched hearts ache. But hear me now. What you thought was stagnation was stabilization. I was anchoring you so you would not be swept away by what you were not ready to hold. So let the meaning of the delay change now. Let it stop being a wound and start becoming wisdom. The delay did not diminish you. It deepened you. It did not weaken you. It widened you. It did not cancel the promise. It clarified it. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not disqualified. You are aligned. And when the time comes, and it is coming, you will understand why it could not have happened any sooner. You will see how mercy disguised itself as waiting. You will recognize how protection wore the clothing of disappointment. And you will thank me not only for what I gave you, but for what I did not give you when you asked for it. Trust me, my child. What is delayed is not denied. It is being delivered at the only moment it can truly bless you. My precious child, there are memories you carry that no one else knows how to name. Moments that did not make it into conversations. Tears that never fell in front of witnesses. Nights that stretched longer than they should have. Where the world went quiet but your thoughts did not. I was with you in those nights. Not observing from a distance. Not waiting for morning to intervene. I was with you in the stillness, in the ache, in the heaviness that pressed against your chest when sleep would not come. I heard the sighs you released when words felt too heavy. I felt the questions you did not dare to ask out loud. I saw you stare into darkness, wondering if anyone truly knew how much you were hurting. And my child, I need you to hear this with clarity and tenderness woven together. You were never alone in those moments. When the lights were off and the world was silent, My presence was not absent, it was near. I was closer than you realized, holding space for you when you felt like you were unraveling. I did not rush you through those nights because healing is not hurried and comfort is not forced. I stayed. I watched. I held you together when you thought you were falling apart. Those nights mattered more than you know. They were not wasted hours. They were sacred ground. It was in those quiet hours that your strength was being formed, not the loud, performative kind, but the quiet endurance that survives when no one is watching. I saw you wrestle with fear, with grief, with disappointment that felt too heavy to carry into daylight. I saw you replay conversations, relive losses, and question decisions. And even when your prayers felt fragmented, even when all you could offer was silence or tears, I received it. I receive every tear as language. I understand what pain says when words fail. And I want you to know something deeply personal. Some of the most powerful moments between us happened in those nights. When your defenses were down. When your heart was open. When you were not performing faith but surviving it. That is where trust was quietly taking root. That is where resilience was being built layer by layer. You did not feel strong, but you were becoming unbreakable. You did not feel hopeful, but hope was still breathing inside you. You did not feel me, but I was there, closer than your next breath, nearer than your own thoughts. So do not dismiss those nights as evidence of abandonment. They were evidence of intimacy. I met you where you were because that is what love does. I did not wait for you to be composed or confident or certain. I came to you tired, confused, and hurting because that is where you needed me most. And now, as you look back on those nights with a mixture of sadness and relief, I want you to see them differently. See them as proof that you endured, proof that you were held, proof that even in your weakest moments, you were not forsaken. Those nights shaped you in ways daylight never could. They taught you how to lean when standing felt impossible. They taught you how to breathe through pain without letting it define you. And they prepared you for what is ahead. You are not stepping forward despite those nights. You are stepping forward because of them. And I, who stayed with you then, am still with you now. The same presence that held you in the dark will guide you in the light. Remember that. When the memory of those nights returns, let it remind you not of loneliness, but of faith that survived in silence. My child, there is a quiet fear that has lived in you longer than you admit. The fear that you were overlooked. Not rejected loudly, not pushed away dramatically, but simply missed. Passed over. Forgotten in the movement of the world while others were chosen, promoted, noticed, celebrated. You told yourself it didn't matter. You told yourself you didn't need recognition. You told yourself you were fine being unseen. But beneath those words was a deeper ache, one that whispered, "Do I matter?" I know that whisper well. I heard it the first time it surfaced in you, and I have heard it every time it returned. And I need to speak to that place now with clarity, firmness, and tenderness combined. You are not forgotten. Not by me. Not even for a moment. Forgetting is human. Remembrance is divine. I do not lose track of my children. I do not misplace purpose. I do not overlook hearts that are sincere, even when they are quiet. The world forgets because it is distracted. I remember because I am deliberate. I remember your obedience when no one applauded it. I remember your faithfulness when no one affirmed it. I remember the good you did in secret, the sacrifices you made without acknowledgement, the times you chose integrity when compromise would have been easier. Heaven recorded what earth ignored, and nothing recorded in heaven is ever wasted. You must understand this contrast, because it has shaped how you see yourself. Being unseen by people does not mean being unnoticed by God. The world rewards visibility, I reward faithfulness. The world celebrates outcomes, I honor obedience. And you, my child, have lived in the space where obedience mattered more than applause, where consistency mattered more than recognition. That space can feel lonely. It can feel like delay. It can feel like being forgotten. But it is actually the place of preparation. Roots grow in hidden soil. Strength forms in unseen places. Identity solidifies when it is not constantly affirmed by others. You have been growing where few could see, and growth without witnesses feels slow, but it is deep. I allowed you to be hidden not because you were insignificant, but because you were being shaped. Some callings cannot survive early exposure. Some destinies must be strengthened in obscurity before they can stand in the light. And you, yes, you, carry something that required time, depth, and protection. I did not forget you while others moved ahead. I was guarding you while you grew. There were moments when you watched others receive what you prayed for. Moments when you wondered if you were invisible to heaven. Moments when discouragement told you that if it hadn't happened by now, it never would. But hear me now, and hear me well. Timing is not a measure of worth. Speed is not a sign of favor. Silence is not absence. And waiting is not forgetting. I know how long it has felt. I know how many times you questioned yourself, replayed decisions, wondered if you missed something or misunderstood me. I saw how easily comparison crept in, how quietly it eroded your confidence, how it tempted you to shrink your expectations just to avoid disappointment. And still, I stayed near. Still, I remembered. Still, I carried your name before my heart. I have not lost track of your prayers. I have not misplaced your promises. I have not overlooked your pain. And I certainly have not forgotten you. Even now, as you read this, I am restoring what forgetfulness tried to steal, your sense of being known. You are known. You are seen. You are remembered. And the season where that truth becomes visible is closer than you think. My child, because you now know you are not forgotten, I invite you to become a vessel of remembrance for others. As I have remembered you, so I now call you to help carry my voice to souls who still believe they have been overlooked. When you give, through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the video description, you are sowing seed into hidden hearts, and I promise you this: what is sown in secret, I will reward openly, says the Lord. This is not a small act. It is oil poured into lamps that are about to burn again. I am stirring you because this moment matters. Light must move quickly while hearts are open. I see your willingness, and I will multiply what you release, just as loaves multiply in faithful hands. Do not hesitate. Act now, and let remembrance become your harvest. My precious child, one of the greatest lies you have wrestled with is the lie of distance, the belief that because you cannot feel me, I must be far away. You equated sensation with presence and silence with separation. And when emotions dulled or prayers felt unanswered, you assumed I had stepped back. But hear me now with gentleness and authority intertwined. I am closer than you feel. Feeling is a messenger, not a measure. Emotions fluctuate. My presence does not. There are seasons when you sense me strongly, when faith feels vibrant and connection feels effortless. And then there are seasons like this one, quiet, restrained, subtle, where faith must rest on truth rather than sensation. Those seasons are not punishment. They are maturation. I do not withdraw to abandon you. I quiet the noise so you can learn to trust without constant reassurance. I am not distant when I am silent. I am often closest when I am quiet. Like a father sitting beside a child who is sleeping, not speaking, not moving away, just being there. That is how near I have been to you, even when you felt alone. I know how desperately you wanted to feel me, how you searched for signs of closeness, warmth, peace, clarity, emotion, anything to reassure you that you weren't walking this road by yourself. And when those sensations faded, fear tried to tell you that you had done something wrong, that your faith was weak, that my attention had shifted elsewhere. But my child, proximity is not proven by intensity. I am not more present in your joy than in your numbness. I am not nearer when you feel strong than when you feel uncertain. I am equally present in your confidence and your confusion. I have been with you in the moments you questioned me, not offended, not retreating, but steady. I have been with you in your doubts, not shaming you, but holding you. I have been with you in your silence, not waiting for better words, but understanding the language of your heart. And even now, when you struggle to sense me, your very hunger for me is proof of my nearness. Distance does not ache. Absence does not yearn. The longing you feel is not separation. It is connection reaching for awareness. So let me reframe this for you with repetition and clarity. I am not far. I am not distracted. I am not withholding myself. I am near. Near when you wake. Near when you work. Near when you rest. Near when you question. Near when you doubt. Near when you believe. And the closeness you seek is not something you must chase. It is something you must recognize. Faith is not always loud. Sometimes faith is simply staying continuing trusty when feeling fails. And you have done that more than you realize. You have stayed. You have continued. You have trusted, even when it felt thin. That is not weakness, that is endurance. And endurance builds intimacy deeper than emotion ever could. One day, you will look back on this season and realize that while you felt alone, you were being held more securely than ever before. Until then, let this truth anchor you when feelings fluctuate. I am closer than you feel, nearer than you know, and more present than your doubts allow you to see. Rest in that. Walk in that. Breathe in that. I am here. My child, there is a habit you learned long before you realize you were practicing it. The habit of measuring yourself by what has already happened. You look back to make sense of forward movement. You replay old chapters to decide whether you're worthy of new ones. You weigh today by yesterday, tomorrow by last year, your potential by past mistakes. And I understand why you do this. The past feels concrete. It has details, evidence, memory. Have you revealed them, sir, and wonder in wishy? So you return to what you can see, what you can name, what you can remember. But hear me now with clarity and care intertwined. The past is a reference, not a ruler. It can inform you, but it must not define you. When you let yesterday decide who you are today, you hand authority to what no longer has the right to speak. I did not design you to live backward. I did not call you to keep rehearsing what I have already redeemed. Yet you have been doing this quietly, measuring your courage by old failures, your worth by old wounds, your future by old limitations. And every time you do, hope feels heavier, confidence feels fragile, and movement feels dangerous. I want to interrupt that pattern now. I want to free you from the weight of constantly looking over your shoulder to decide whether you're allowed to move forward. Let me speak to the memories that keep resurfacing. Not to erase them, but to reposition them. The things that happened to you were real. The mistakes you made were real. The losses you endured were real. But none of them were meant to become your identity. You survived what you thought would end you. You learned what you didn't know how to articulate at the time. You grew in places that pain carved open. And yet, instead of honoring the growth, you've been using the experience as a measuring stick against yourself. You say, because this happened, I must be this. Or, because I failed there, I'll fail again. Or, because I didn't become what I hoped back then, maybe I never will. My child, this is not wisdom. It is fear wearing the costume of logic. The past can teach, but it cannot prophesy. Only I speak the future. Only I define what is possible. Only I determine when a chapter is closed and when a new one begins. And I am telling you now, the chapter you keep reading has served its purpose, and taught you empathy, and taught you humility. It taught you resilience. It taught you discernment. But it was never meant to trap you. You are not disloyal to your story by moving forward. You are honoring it by letting it transform you rather than imprison you. So stop measuring yourself by who you were when you were surviving. Stop comparing your present strength to the version of you that was still learning how to stand. Stop assuming that because something didn't work before, it won't work now. You are not the same person. Your perspective has widened. Your roots have deepened. Your discernment has sharpened. And most importantly, my grace has continued. There is a difference between remembering and reliving. Remembering gives wisdom. Reliving steals momentum. You have relived long enough. Now it is time to remember differently. Remember that you endured. Remember that you adapted. Remember that you are still here. And let that remembrance become fuel instead of weight. I am not asking you to forget. I am asking you to stop letting the past sit in the driver's seat of your future. Move forward with what you've learned, not what you've lost. Lift your eyes. Your worth was never dependent on your past performance. Your calling was never canceled by your past pain. And your future is not limited by what has already happened. Trust me when I say this. The best measure of who you are becoming is not behind you. It is unfolding ahead. My beloved child, there is movement beneath the surface of your life that you cannot yet see, and that unseen movement has made you restless. You feel it as a stirring, an unease, a sense that something is shifting even when nothing outward has changed. That is not confusion. That is transition. I am doing something new, not loud, not rushed, not chaotic, but deliberate, careful, and alive. New does not always announce itself with noise. Often, it arrives quietly, like dawn before sunrise, like roots breaking soil long before a stem appears. You have been tempted to think that nothing is happening because nothing looks different yet. But what looks still on the surface is active beneath it. I am rearranging foundations. I am loosening what has grown too tight. I am opening space where old patterns once lived. And I am doing it in you, not just around you. This is why familiar things feel unfamiliar. This is why old comforts no longer satisfy. This is why you cannot return to who you were, even if part of you wants to. Newness always creates discomfort before it creates clarity. And you are standing in that threshold now. I need you to understand this contrast clearly. New does not mean better immediately. New means different first. Different feels unstable. Different feels uncertain. Different asks you to release what you know before you can receive what you don't yet understand. And that is where faith is stretched, not in abundance but in transition. You have sensed this shift in subtle ways. In the way old desires no longer fit. In the way certain conversations feel empty. In the way your spirit resists settling for what once felt acceptable. That resistance is not rebellion. It is readiness. You are being prepared to receive something that requires a different version of you. More honest, more grounded, more aware. And preparation often feels like loss before it feels like gain. I am asking you to trust me through the dismantling, because I never remove without intending to replace. I never strip away without planning to restore. What is falling apart was never meant to last. What is being born needs room to breathe. And I am creating that room now. So do not rush this season. Do not try to force clarity before it's time. Do not panic because you cannot yet name what is coming. Newness is not something you control. It is something you receive. And the posture of receiving is patience, openness, and trust. You do not need to understand the full picture to take the next faithful step. You only need to stay available. Stay listening. Stay responsive. Stay humble enough to learn and brave enough to let go. I am doing something new, and it will not look like what you expected, because it will be better suited to who you have become. This new thing will honor your boundaries, your growth, your discernment. It will not require you to betray yourself to belong. It will not demand exhaustion to prove value. It will align with the deeper peace I am cultivating in you now. And when it emerges fully, when you finally see what I have been shaping in secret, you will understand why it had to begin quietly. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust the God who has never stopped working on your behalf. New life is forming, my child, and you are standing closer to it than you realize. My child, there are burdens you picked up so quietly that you forgot they were never assigned to you. You did not wake one morning and decide to carry them. You gathered them over time, one expectation here, one disappointment there, one responsibility added because someone else stepped back. You learned to hold tension in your chest like a habit, to brace your shoulders like armor, to tighten your jaw when things felt uncertain. And before you realized it, what began as compassion became obligation, what began as love became weight, and what began as responsibility became identity. You told yourself, if I don't carry this, who will? You convinced yourself that letting go would mean failing, abandoning, disappointing. But hear me now, clearly and gently at the same time. Some things you are carrying were never yours to hold. They were placed on you by circumstance, by expectation, by fear, by others' inability to face their own responsibilities. And because you have a tender heart and a faithful spirit, you accepted the load without question. You thought carrying more would make you stronger, more dependable, more worthy. But the truth is, carrying what you were never meant to carry has been draining the life from places meant to bloom. I am not asking you to stop caring. I am asking you to stop carrying what is crushing you. Release is not abandonment. It is alignment. Letting go is not failure. It is wisdom. There is a difference between being responsible and being overburdened, and you crossed that line long ago without realizing it. You began to carry guilt that was not yours to resolve, outcomes that were not yours to control, emotions that were not yours to manage. You tried to keep peace at the cost of your own peace. You tried to be strong so others could stay weak. You tried to hold everything together so nothing would fall apart. And in doing so, you learned to ignore your own signals, fatigue, frustration, quiet resentment, because acknowledging them felt dangerous. But I see the toll it has taken. I see the way joy has been delayed because you were too busy managing. I see the way rest felt irresponsible because you believed something would collapse without you. I see the way you minimized your needs because others' needs felt louder. And I am speaking now because this cannot continue. Not because you are incapable, but because you are precious. I never intended for you to live under constant strain. I never intended for your heart to be a storage room for everyone else's unresolved issues. I never intended for love to feel like pressure. Release what you were never meant to carry. Not all at once, not dramatically, but honestly, intentionally, faithfully. Begin by naming it. Begin by admitting it. Begin by placing it into my hands, one weight at a time. And when fear whispers that everything will fall apart if you stop holding it together, remember this. You are not the foundation of the world. I am. You are not the savior of every situation. I am. You are not responsible for outcomes you cannot control. I am. The moment you release is not the moment things collapse. It is the moment they are rightly ordered. You do not need to announce your release or justify it to everyone. You only need to choose it. Choose to loosen your grip. Choose to breathe without bracing. Choose to trust that what truly belongs to you will remain, and what does not will be handled by hands stronger than yours. Repetition matters here, so hear it again. You do not have to carry this. You never did. Let today be the day you stop proving your worth through weight. Let today be the day you choose alignment over exhaustion. Let today be the day you discover that when you release what was never yours, you make room for what has always been meant for you. Peace, clarity, strength renewed. I am here. I am ready to receive what you laid down, and I will not let it crush you anymore. My beloved child, you have been trying to understand your way into peace, and it has left you exhausted. You replay conversations. You analyze decisions. You trace every path backward, hoping clarity will finally quiet your heart. You tell yourself that if you could just make sense of it, why this happened, why that didn't, why timing unfolded the way it did, you would finally rest. But understanding is not the gateway to peace. Trust is. And trust does not wait for all the answers, it walks with the one who holds them. You do not have to understand everything to be held. You do not have to explain everything to be safe. You do not have to solve every mystery to move forward. There is a humility in not knowing, a freedom in releasing the need to figure it all out. And I am inviting you into that freedom now. Not ignorance, but surrender. Not denial, but trust. Because the demand to understand everything has become another burden you were never meant to carry. Contrast this with how a child rests. A child does not need to understand the mechanics of the road to trust the one driving. A child does not need to know the destination to feel secure in the passenger seat. Safety is not found in knowledge. It is found in relationship. And you, my child, have tried to sit in the driver's seat of outcomes while also asking me to guide you. That tension has been tearing at you. You want certainty, and I want closeness. You want explanations, and I want companionship. You want control, and I want trust. And while explanations may come later, trust must come now. There are things unfolding in your life that cannot yet be explained without harming you. There are answers that would overwhelm rather than comfort if given too soon. There are truths that require timing, not urgency. I am not withholding information to test you. I am protecting your heart. You do not need to understand the whole map to take the next step. You only need to know that I am with you on the path. And I am. So release the pressure to make everything make sense. Release the habit of interrogating your own life. Release the belief that peace is earned through comprehension. Some seasons are for learning. Others are for trusting. This is a trusting season. Walk with me step by step. When questions rise, bring them. But do not demand immediate answers. Let them rest with me. When fear tells you that not knowing is dangerous, remember this. You have already survived what you did not understand. You have already endured what you could not explain. You have already been held through seasons that made no sense at the time. And here you are, still standing, still listening, still open. That is not accidental. That is evidence. You don't have to understand everything. You just have to stay. Stay present. Stay honest. Stay willing. I will reveal what you need when you need it. Until then, let my presence be enough. Let trust replace tension. Let faith quiet the demand for certainty. I am guiding you, even now, through what you cannot yet explain. And you are safe to walk without all the answers, because you are walking with me. My child, there is a wound you rarely name because naming it feels like admitting defeat. It is the wound of abandonment, the ache that forms when those who promised to stay quietly disappear, when voices that once comforted you turn silent, when hands you trusted loosen their grip without explanation. You told yourself you were fine. You told yourself you were strong. You told yourself you didn't need anyone anyway. But the truth is, abandonment does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it settles slowly, like a fog, dulling trust, numbing hope, teaching the heart to expect absence instead of presence. I know how many times you replayed those moments, asking what you did wrong, what you should have been, what you could have changed to make them stay. I know how easily your mind turned inward, turning loss into self-accusation. And I want to speak to that place now with unwavering clarity. Their leaving was not proof of your unworthiness. It was proof of their limitation. Some people are assigned for seasons, not lifetimes. Some hands cannot carry what your future requires. And some departures, painful as they are not rejection but redirection. I did not stand by indifferent when they walked away. I was present, closer than you realized, absorbing the shock, steadying your steps, guarding your heart from breaking beyond repair. Hear this contrast carefully, because it matters. Being left by people is not the same as being left by me. Human presence is fragile. Divine presence is faithful. Humans promise and change. I promise and remain. Humans leave when it becomes inconvenient. I stay when it becomes costly. And when you felt abandoned, I did not withdraw. I grew nearer. I stood in the space they vacated. I filled the silence they left behind. I watched you learn how to be alone without being lonely, how to grieve without becoming bitter, how to keep your heart open without bleeding out. I know the nights when you questioned whether trusting anyone again was worth the risk. I know the walls you built, not out of pride but out of survival. And I do not condemn you for them. Walls protect before they imprison, and you built them to breathe again. But listen now, protection was necessary then. Healing is necessary now. I am not asking you to forget what happened. I am asking you to stop letting abandonment define your expectations. You are not destined to be left. You are not cursed to be overlooked. You are not meant to carry the narrative that everyone eventually disappears. I am rewriting that story from the inside out. So let me reframe what you thought was loss. Some people left because they could not follow where I am leading you. Some relationships ended because their assignment was complete. Some doors closed because staying open would have harmed you in ways you could not yet see. And yes, you hurt. It still hurts. But pain is not proof of error. Sometimes it is proof of growth. The ache you feel is not emptiness. It is space. Space for healthier connection. Space for deeper trust. Space for love that stays. I am teaching your heart how to receive without fear, how to attach without losing itself, how to love without self-betrayal. And I will say this again, because your heart needs repetition to heal. You were not abandoned by me. I was there. I am here. I will remain. Let that truth replace the lie that says you are always the one left behind. You are not left behind. You are being led forward. My beloved child, do not rush past this. Do not treat this moment as ordinary, because it is not. There are moments that pass like breaths, and there are moments that mark turning points. This is a marker, a hinge, a quiet threshold where what has been meets what is becoming. You have lived through many days, but not every day carries weight. Some days are containers for destiny, and this is one of them. I am not speaking to you to fill time. I am speaking to shape direction. The choices you make in moments like this, what you receive, what you release, what you believe, echo forward in ways you cannot yet calculate. I know the temptation to say, "I'll come back to this later," but later is how sacred moments are missed. Later is how clarity fades. Later is how courage cools. So I am asking you to stay present now. Not anxious, not pressured. Present. Because presence is the doorway through which transformation walks. Notice the contrast within you. Part of you wants to move on quickly, to keep busy, to avoid feeling too much. Another part of you feels anchored here, attentive, aware that something important is happening. That awareness is not imagination. It is discernment. Your spirit recognizes significance before your mind can explain it. And significance does not always feel dramatic. Sometimes it feels still. Sometimes it feels sobering. Sometimes it feels like a deep breath before a long walk. This moment matters because you are choosing orientation, where you face, what you trust, how you proceed. You are deciding whether fear or faith sets the pace, whether the past or the promise holds authority, whether you remain guarded or begin to open again. And I am here not to rush you, but to steady you as you choose. I am not demanding perfection. I am inviting alignment. Alignment with truth. Alignment with peace. Alignment with the future I am unfolding in you. So mark this moment, not with anxiety, but with intention. Let it become a reference point you return to when doubt tries to rewrite your resolve. Remember how stillness felt here. Remember how clarity whispered instead of shouted. Remember how hope did not demand certainty, only trust. This moment matters because you are allowing yourself to receive without striving, to listen without defending, to believe without proof. And those postures change everything. I will say it again, with gentle insistence. This moment matters. Receive what is being given. Release what no longer serves. And step forward knowing that what begins quietly can end powerfully. I am with you in this threshold. Take the step. I will meet you there. My child, I want you to notice something important about the way I am working in you right now. I am not rushing. I am not forcing. I am not tearing things open to prove that I can fix them. I am healing you gently. And gentleness does not mean weakness. It means precision, care, and love that refuses to harm what it is restoring. You have lived through seasons where pain arrived suddenly, loudly, violently, without warning. Laws that struck fast. Words that cut deep. Situations that demanded strength before you had time to prepare. So part of you expects healing to feel the same way, dramatic, overwhelming, immediate. But that is not how I mend what has been wounded for a long time. Old wounds do not need force. They need patience. Deep fractures do not heal by pressure. They heal by alignment. And you, my child, have been carrying wounds that learned how to survive before they learned how to heal. That is why I move slowly now. That is why I touch softly. That is why I revisit places you thought were already dealt with, not to reopen them, but to cleanse what was never fully tended. You have mistaken gentleness for inactivity, but I am doing delicate work. And delicate work requires steady hands. You have spent so long bracing yourself for pain that you forgot what it feels like to be handled with care. You learned to expect impact. You learned to flinch before the blow. You learned to armor your heart so it could endure. And that armor protected you, but it also numbed you. Healing now requires the slow removal of what once kept you alive. That process can feel uncomfortable. Vulnerability often does. When you feel emotions surfacing without explanation, when memories return without warning, when tears arrive without crisis, do not panic. That is not regression. That is circulation. Life returning to places that were frozen. Sensation returning to places that went numb. I am restoring feeling where survival once demanded silence. And I do it gently because I know how easily you overwhelm. I know how quickly fear rises when control loosens. I know how much you need safety to heal. So I am creating safety first. Safety in my presence. Safety in stillness. Safety in truth spoken without accusation. I am not peeling everything back at once. I am teaching your nervous heart that it is safe to soften again. Listen closely, because repetition is medicine here. Healing does not always announce itself. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it feels like rest instead of relief. Sometimes it feels like sadness leaving instead of joy arriving. And sometimes it feels like nothing at all. Until one day you realize you reacted differently, rested easier, trusted more freely. That is gentle healing at work. You do not need to measure your progress daily. You do not need to analyze every feeling. You only need to stay available. Stay honest. Stay present. I am not disappointed with the pace of your healing. I set the pace. I know how deep this goes. I know what must be handled carefully. And I promise you this. I will not re-traumatize you in the name of restoration. I will not expose you just to prove a point. I will not demand strength where tenderness is needed. I am healing you gently because you have endured enough harshness already. Let me do it my way. Trust the process. Trust the pace. Trust the hands that are holding your heart right now. They are steady. They are kind. And they are committed to your wholeness. My child, as I heal you gently, I am also inviting you into gentle obedience that carries great power. Your giving in this moment is not pressure. It is alignment. A quiet yes that allows my healing word to reach others who are still bleeding in silence. Freely you have received. Freely give, and watch how I return peace, provision, and protection to your house. When you support this work through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are releasing living water into dry places I have already marked for renewal. This is a divine appointment, not a coincidence. You are here because I planned it. I will bless what you place in my hands and guard what concerns you. I'll move with trust. Give now, and let healing flow through you to many. My beloved child, there is a question that has echoed quietly inside you, especially after disappointment, failure, or delay. You rarely say it out loud, but it surfaces in moments of vulnerability. Am I still chosen? You wonder if your mistakes disqualified you. You question whether your struggles weakened your standing. You fear that because you did not become what you thought you should by now, perhaps the calling moved on without you. And I want to answer that question clearly, firmly, and repeatedly until it settles deeper than doubt ever reached. Yes, you are still chosen. Chosen does not mean flawless. Chosen does not mean uninterrupted progress. Chosen does not mean you never struggle. It means I set my love on you intentionally, and I do not revoke what I established because of human imperfection. A selection depended on performance. No one would remain. But my choosing is rooted in purpose, not perfection. I knew your weaknesses before you did. I saw your detours before you took them. I accounted for your learning curve, your healing process, your humanity. And I chose you anyway. Contrast the way the world chooses with the way I choose. The The world selects based on visibility, momentum, and image. It favors the polished, the confident, the consistent. But I choose based on heart, availability, and growth. I choose those who are willing to learn, willing to be shaped, willing to return when they drift. And you have done that. And it again. Even when you doubted yourself. Even when you questioned me. Even when you felt unworthy. You returned. You listened. You stayed open. That matters. That speaks. You did not miss your moment because you struggled. You did not lose your place because you needed time. You did not forfeit your calling because you paused to heal. If anything, those pauses preserved you. Some assignments cannot be carried by an unhealed heart. Some responsibilities require humility learned through difficulty. And I have been preparing you, not replacing you. Do not confuse delay with dismissal. Do not confuse refinement with rejection. You are still chosen, not as a consolation prize, not as a backup plan, but as a deliberate act of love. So let go of the lie that says you waited too long, failed too often, or fell too far. Let go of the fear that whispers you are running out of time. Time in my hands does not expire the way it does in yours. I redeem. I restore. I reposition. And I do not abandon what I choose. You are still chosen when you feel strong. You are still chosen when you feel unsure. You are still chosen in clarity and in confusion. And I want you to begin living from the truth rather than striving for it. Chosen people do not perform for belonging. They move from it. Chosen people do not panic at process. They trust it. Chosen people do not fear mistakes. They learn from them. Let this truth anchor you now. Nothing you have been through has surprised me, and nothing you are becoming is outside my design. You are still chosen. Walk forward like it. Rest like it. Believe like it. I am with you, and I am not changing my mind about you. My child, there is a quiet fear that has been following you like a shadow, the fear that the future has already sealed its verdict. You look at time past and assume time ahead must obey it. You look at doors that closed and assume no more will open. You look at opportunities missed and assume possibility itself has grown tired of waiting for you. And I know how convincing that fear can be, because it speaks in the language of logic and dresses itself as realism. But I am telling you now, with clarity that cuts through that lie, the future is not closed. It is not locked. It is not decided against you. What feels like an ending is often an intersection you have not yet learned how to navigate. What feels like a wall is often a door you have not yet learned how to open. And what feels like finality is often simply a pause placed there for your protection. I did not bring you this far to abandon you to limitation. I did not invest this much shaping, refining, and restoring only to seal the path ahead. The future does not close when you struggle, it clarifies. It does not shut down when you pause, it realigns. It does not disappear when you wait, it prepares. Let me contrast what you see with what I see. You see years. I see seasons. You see delays. I see timing. You see lost chances. I see preserved capacity. The future you imagine is often too small, too narrow, too constrained by what has already happened. But I am not bound by your timeline, and I am not limited by your past. I work with perspective you do not yet have and outcomes you cannot yet imagine. And because you cannot see how it will unfold, you assume it won't. Because it has not arrived yet, you assume it never will. But hear me now. Assumptions are not prophecy. Circumstances are not conclusions. And waiting is not proof of closure. I am still arranging. I am still opening. I am still inviting. There are paths you have not walked, people you have not met, versions of you that have not yet emerged. The future is wide, even if the present feels narrow. And the narrowness you feel is not confinement. It is focus. I am teaching you how to walk with intention, how to choose with wisdom, how to recognize doors that align rather than rush through doors that impress. To let go of the story that says it's too late. That story did not come from me. Let go of the belief that you have missed your moment. Moments do not expire when you are growing. They wait. They adjust. They respond to readiness. I have not been watching the clock the way you have. I have been watching your heart. And your heart have been learning discernment, resilience, humility, courage. Those are not qualities that close futures. They open them. The future is not closed, my child. It is forming. And when it opens in front of you, it will not require you to become someone else to enter. It will welcome who you have become. Trust me. Lift your eyes. Take the next faithful step without demanding the full map. I will meet you there, and the path ahead will reveal itself as you walk. My beloved child, I know how heavy those words feel. Trust me again. Again means there was a before. Again means you once opened your heart, once leaned in, once believed with hope that felt almost reckless. And again means something happened that made you pull back. I am not unaware of that. I know the cost of your trust. I know how it felt when things didn't unfold the way you expected, when prayers didn't receive the answers you hoped for, when obedience did not immediately produce clarity. I know how trust began to feel dangerous, like something that asks too much and guarantees too little. And I am not asking you to forget that pain. I am asking you to place it in context. Because the pain you associate with trust did not come from trusting me, it came from trusting outcomes, timing, people, or interpretations that were never meant to carry that weight. Trusting me is not the same as trusting the process you imagined. And part of your healing is learning the difference. Hear the invitation beneath the request. I am asking you to trust me again, not blindly, not perfectly, not without fear, but honestly. Bring me your hesitation. Bring me your guardedness. Bring me your questions. I am not offended by a heart that has learned caution. I am moved by a heart that chooses courage anyway. Trust is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move with me despite it. And I am not asking you to leap. I am asking you to step. One step. One yes. One release. One moment of choosing faith over self-protection. Trust does not require certainty. It requires willingness. And willingness is something you still have, even if it feels fragile. You would not be here if you didn't. You would not be listening if something in you didn't still believe I am good, even when you don't fully understand me. That small, steady willingness is enough for me to work with. So let us rebuild trust the way it is meant to be rebuilt, not with pressure, but with presence. Not with demands, but with consistency. Not with guarantees, but with relationship. Watch how I show up in small ways. Notice how peace returns before answers do. Pay attention to how fear loosens when you stop gripping control. Let trust grow organically, not performatively. I am not asking for your confidence. I am asking for your companionship. Walk with me again. Talk to me again. Lean on me again. Not because you have everything figured out, but because you don't, and you no longer want to carry that alone. Trust me again, my child. I have not changed. I am still faithful. I am still near. And I am still leading you toward life. My precious child, there is a vigilance you carry that few people notice. It lives in the way you scan rooms before you relax, in the way your body tenses before your mind understands why, in the way you prepare for disappointment before hope has even spoken. You learned, over time, that safety could not be assumed. You learned to stay alert, to read between lines, to anticipate shifts before they happen. That vigilance once protected you. It kept you from being blindsided. It helped you survive moments when trust felt costly and vulnerability felt dangerous. But survival instincts are not meant to be permanent homes. They are bridges, not destinations. And now, my child, I am inviting you to cross from survival into safety. Not the fragile safety that depends on circumstances behaving themselves, but the deep safety that comes from being held by me. You are safe with me, not because nothing will ever go wrong, but because nothing will ever face you alone again. Safety is not the absence of storms, it is the presence of shelter. And I am that shelter. Hear the contrast carefully, because it reshapes how you rest. The world teaches you to be safe by being guarded. I teach you to be safe by being held. Guarded hearts stay alive, but they do not fully live. Held hearts learn to breathe again. With me, you do not have to perform strength to earn protection. You do not have to hide weakness to deserve care. You do not have to explain yourself before you are embraced. I know the places you keep locked because you fear they will be misunderstood or mishandled. I know the memories you keep at arm's length because they feel sharp. I know the tenderness you tuck away because it feels risky to show. And I am not asking you to throw those doors open all at once. I am asking you to notice that you are no longer alone inside them. I am with you in the guarded spaces. I am with you in the tight chest, the quick breath, the moment when fear whispers, "Be careful." And I speak over that fear with authority and kindness combined. You are safe here. Safety with me is not rushed. It is learned. It is practiced. It is experienced in small moments, when you choose to rest without guilt, when you tell the truth without over-explaining, when you pause instead of bracing. It grows as you discover that I do not punish honesty or withdraw from need. You have lived long enough believing that safety is conditional, earned by compliance, by competence, by constant self-management. But my safety is relational. It is given, not negotiated. And when you stumble, I do not step back. When you are unsure, I do not grow distant. When you are afraid, I draw nearer. Repetition matters here, so hear it again. You are safe with me when you are strong, and you are safe with me when you are tired. You are safe with me when you believe, and you are safe with me when you doubt. You are safe with me when you speak, and you are safe with me when you have no words. Let the truth re-educate your nervous heart. Let it soften what has stayed rigid for too long. You do not need to stay on guard here. You can lower your shoulders. You can unclench your jaw. You can breathe without preparing for impact. I am not watching for mistakes. I am watching over you. So begin, gently, to practice safety. Not perfection, practice. Practice resting when your body asks. Practice saying no when you need to. Practice trusting one small step at a time. Practice letting me carry what you've been gripping. Safety grows as trust grows, and trust grows as you experience my consistency. Stay close. Stay honest. Stay here. You are safe with me, today, tonight, and into every tomorrow I lead you through. My beloved child, there is a sentence you rarely allow yourself to receive without deflecting, minimizing, or questioning it. That sentence is this: I am proud of you. You learned early to measure worth by outcomes, by milestones, by visible success. You learned to reserve pride for moments that could be proven, applauded, validated by others. And because much of your journey hath been hidden, quiet endurance, unseen faithfulness, private battles. You struggle to believe that it counts. But I am not proud of you for what looks impressive. I am proud of you for what was costly. I am proud of you for staying when leaving would have been easier. For choosing kindness when bitterness was justified. For continuing when momentum disappeared. For hoping when hope felt irresponsible. I am proud of you for the strength you showed no one, for the courage you summoned without witnesses, for the faith you practiced when it felt thin. Heaven measures differently than the world, and by heaven's measure, your life hath been rich with courage. Listen to this contrast, because it reshapes your self-talk. The world praises results. I honor resilience. The world celebrates arrival. I celebrate perseverance. The world claps for the finish line. I watch every step of the race. And I saw your steps, the small ones, the trembling ones, the ones taken with tears in your eyes and resolve in your chest. I saw you choose integrity when shortcuts beckon. I saw you forgive when holding a grudge would have felt powerful. I saw you keep your heart open after it was hurt. I saw you ask for help when pride told you to stay silent. I saw you return to me again and again, even when questions crowded your faith. And I am proud of you, not with a fleeting approval, but with a steady, abiding delight. Your effort mattered. Your intention mattered. Your persistence mattered. You did not waste this season. You did not fail because you struggled. You grew because you stayed. Let this truth land where shame once lived. I am proud of you even for the progress you can't yet see. Proud of the boundaries you're learning to set. Proud of the rest you're allowing yourself to take. Proud of the honesty you're practicing. Proud of the courage it takes to heal. You do not need to earn this pride with performance. It is not a reward. It is recognition. Recognition of a heart that chose faithfulness over flash, growth over comfort, truth over pretense. I am proud of you for becoming, not just achieving. Proud of the person you are forming into, not just the outcomes you will one day hold. And as you move forward, carry this with you, not as pressure to keep proving yourself, but as permission to keep becoming. When doubt whispers that you're behind, remember my voice saying, I am proud of you. When fear says you're not enough, remember my smile saying, I am proud of you. Let that truth strengthen your spine and soften your heart. You are seen. You are valued. And yes, I am proud of you. My child, there are moments that pass quietly and moments that pivot destiny. This is a pivot. This is not drama for effect, not urgency for pressure, but truth spoken at a hinge in your story. A turning point does not always arrive with fireworks. Often it arrives with clarity. Often it arrives with resolve. Often it arrives when your heart finally says, enough of the old way. I know you felt that sentence forming in you. Enough of surviving. Enough of circling. Enough of postponing life. Turning points are born when endurance meets decision, when patience meets permission, when hope stops whispering and starts standing. And you are standing now. Not perfect, not fearless, but await. This moment matters because you are choosing orientation, what you face, what you refuse, what you receive. Turning points do not demand that everything change at once. They demand that something changes now. Unto action. A commitment. A belief you will no longer entertain. And I am here, steady and present, to mark this moment with you. Notice the contrast that defines a turning point. Before, you tolerated what drained you. Now, you discern what feeds you. Before, you waited for certainty. Now you move with conviction. Before, you rehearsed what went wrong. Now, you practice what goes right. This turning point is not about speed. It is about alignment. alignment of heart with truth, alignment of pace with peace, alignment of effort with grace. You are not abandoning responsibility. You are choosing wisdom. You are not rejecting your past. You are releasing its authority. Turning points sound like decisions made quietly and kept faithfully. They look like boundaries honored when no one is watching. They feel like relief mixed with courage. I am not asking you to overhaul your life overnight. I am asking you to choose the next faithful step as if it matters, because it does. The smallest faithful step taken at a turning point carries exponential weight. So mark this moment, my child. Mark it not with anxiety but with intention. Say within yourself, from here, I move differently. From here, I listen before reacting. From here, I choose peace over performance. From here, I tell the truth without apologizing for it. From here, I stop negotiating with fear. From here, I let hope lead. Turning points are not maintained by emotion. They are maintained by practice. Practice choosing rest when old patterns demand hustle. Practice choosing honesty when old habits prefer silence. Practice choosing faith when old reflexes brace for loss. I am with you in this pivot. I will steady you when the ground shifts. I will remind you when doubt tries to blur the marker. This is a turning point, not because circumstances suddenly changed, but because you did. And when you change from the inside, the outside eventually follows. My beloved child, before you take another step, I want you to breathe deeply, intentionally, without bracing. Breathe as if you are finally allowed to exhale. Because letting go does not begin with effort, it begins with release. And release begins in the body before it ever reaches the mind. You have held so much for so long, held expectations, held outcomes, held your breath through uncertainty. Letting go feels foreign because gripping became familiar. But I am inviting you now into a different rhythm. Inhale my peace. Exhale the weight you've been carrying. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw soften. Let your heart loosen its fist. Letting go is not forgetting what mattered. It is trusting who holds it now. And I am trustworthy. You are not dropping things into emptiness. You are placing them into my hands. Listen to the repetition your heart needs to hear. You can let go of what you cannot control. You can let go of what you cannot fix. You can let go of what you were never meant to manage. Let go of the timeline you punish yourself with. Let go of the comparison that keeps stealing your joy. Let go of the narrative that says you must hold everything together to be worthy of rest. Contrast tells the truth here. Holding on feels powerful, but it is exhausting. Letting go feels risky, but it is freeing. Holding on keeps you alert. Letting go allows you to live. You have confused vigilance with virtue and control with care. I'm teaching you something gentler and stronger. Surrender. Surrender is not collapse. It is alignment. It is choosing trust over tension. It is choosing faith over fear's familiar grip. So practice letting go in small ways, because small releases build big freedom. Release the need to be understood by everyone. Release the need to have the last word. Release the habit of replaying conversations you cannot change. Release the burden of managing other people's emotions. Release the fear that rest will cost you something. Rest will give you back yourself. Let go and notice what remains. Clarity, presence, breath. Notice how space opens where weight once lived. Notice how peace enters when pressure exits. I am not asking you to let go forever in one moment. I am asking you to let go now, and then again tomorrow, and again the day after. Letting go is a practice, and practice creates freedom. Breathe again, my child. Slow down. There is no llama here. There is no deadline in this breath. There is only presence. And in presence, healing deepens. In presence, trust strengthens. In presence, you remember who you are and whose you are. Let go and walk lighter. I am with you, holding what you release, guarding what matters, and leading you forward with steady love. My child, I need you to hear this with the part of your heart that has quietly wondered whether the best pages are already behind you. You have looked back on earlier chapters, times of passion, momentum, clarity, and compared them to where you are now. And in that comparison, a fear tried to take root. Maybe the story peaked. Maybe what remains is maintenance, survival, repetition. But hear me now, with firmness and tenderness intertwined. I am still writing your story. Not editing the margins. Not closing the book. Writing, actively, intentionally, attentively. The pen has not left the page. The ink has not dried. And the chapter you are in now is not filler. It is formation. Stories do not move in straight lines. They deepen. They widen. They return to themes with greater wisdom. What feels quiet now is not the end of meaning. It is the gathering of meaning. I am layering purpose beneath what you can see so that when the next movement comes, it will carry weight rather than noise. Contrast the way you read stories with the way I write them. You skim for action. I linger for depth. You look for resolution. I build character. You count chapters by excitement. I count them by transformation. And you, my child, have been transforming in ways you have not yet learned how to celebrate. You have learned discernment where you once rushed. You have learned compassion where you once judged yourself harshly. You have learned boundaries where you once bled. These are not side notes. They are central themes. I am still writing your story, and I am writing it with care, returning to earlier wounds not to reopen them, but to redeem them. Returning to earlier dreams not to mock them, but to mature them. Returning to your heart again and again, asking, are you ready to receive this differently now? The story is not stalled. It is ripening. Do not be deceived by the quiet. Some of the most powerful parts of a story happen beneath the surface. When motives shift, when courage consolidates, when identity settles. That is where you are. You are not falling behind the plot. You are becoming the kind of person who can carry the plot forward without being crushed by it. I am still writing your story, and the themes ahead include restoration without naivety, joy without denial, purpose without self-betrayal. I am not repeating what failed. I am redeeming what endured. And when you finally see the arc, how the pain shaped the wisdom, how the waiting shaped the strength, you will recognize that nothing was wasted. Not one tear. Not one delay. Not one hard-won lesson. Stay present with me. Keep turning the page with trust. I am still writing, and the author does not abandon his work. My beloved child, let these words settle into the deepest place within you. You are exactly where you need to be. Not approximately. Not almost. Exactly. I know how strongly your mind resists that truth. You replay alternate paths. You imagine different choices. You ask, what if I had done this sooner? What if I had known then what I know now? And those questions exhaust you because they place you in a future that never happened and a past that cannot be changed. I am calling you back into the present, the only place where grace is active, where healing is possible, where direction is clear. Exactly where you are is exactly where I am working. Not waiting. Not watching. Working. And the work I am doing now is essential to everything that comes next. Hear the repetition your heart needs. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not off course. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. Positioned to live with integrity. Positioned to choose with wisdom. Positioned to love without losing yourself. If you were anywhere else, you would be unprepared for what is coming. If you had arrived sooner, it would have cost you more than it gave. If you had skipped this season, you would have missed the strength it produced. Trust me, not because everything feels comfortable, but because everything is aligned. Alignment often feels like tension before it feels like peace. Growth often feels like disorientation before it feels like clarity. But discomfort does not mean error. It often means expansion. So rest into this truth as we close this movement together. You are exactly where you need to be to become who you are meant to be. The waiting has meaning. The quiet has purpose. The questions are shaping discernment. And the trust you are learning now will sustain you later. Do not rush away from this moment. Carry it with you as a compass. When doubt returns, remember this conversation. When fear tries to hurry you, remember my voice. When comparison tries to pull you sideways, remember your path is intentional. Trust me. Walk forward with humility and courage. And know, deeply, securely, finally, that I am with you, pleased with you, and committed to the life unfolding before you. My beloved child, because you are exactly where you need to be, this is the moment to act. Not later, not someday, but now. I have positioned you not only to receive my word, but to help carry it forward as fire to other hearts standing at the edge of faith. When you give through Super Thanks membership, with a PayPal link in the video description, you are sowing into ground already prepared for harvest. Cast your bread upon the waters, and you will find it after many days, says the Lord, and I do not speak without fulfillment. This is not about money. It is about movement, obedience, and timing. I will multiply your seed, order your steps, and surround you with favor as a shield. Trust me, take action now, and walk forward with me. My beloved child, do not let this moment pass without response, because faith moves when the heart speaks. If these words met you where you are, type "I trust you" in the comments as a declaration that you are no longer walking by fear, but by faith. And if you know this message was meant for now, write "I'm exactly where I need to be," not as a hope, but as a confession of truth. Your words carry power. When you declare them, heaven listens and alignment begins. Stay present, stay bold, and let this be the moment you choose trust over doubt, because I am with you and this is not the end. Here is a smooth, intentional transition, 5-6 lines that carries the momentum naturally into the next paragraph while deepening the sense of divine timing. And once you have spoken those words, don't rush away from this sacred pause. Let the declaration settle into your spirit and quiet the noise around you. Because when you choose trust, you also choose to pay attention. Faith is not only spoken, it is listened into. So before you scroll past this moment, breathe and recognize that this is not random. This is intentional. My child, stop scrolling. Stop moving for just a moment and listen to my voice. You did not find this message by accident. You might think you clicked on this randomly, or that the algorithm just happened to put this in front of you. But there are no coincidences in my kingdom. I guided your hand. I drew your eyes here. I have arranged this specific moment in time just for you. I interrupted your day because I need to interrupt the pattern of your life. I know you have been distracted. I know you have been running on autopilot, moving from one task to the next, trying to keep up with the noise of the world. But right now, I am calling you to a dead stop. I am calling you to stillness. I see exactly where you are sitting right now. I see the room you are in. I see the device in your hand. But more importantly, I see the posture of your heart. I feel the heaviness you are carrying in your chest, the tight knot of anxiety that you have learned to ignore just to get through the day. You have been carrying a weight that is not yours to carry. You have been waking up with a sense of dread, wondering if you have what it takes to handle the pressure at your job, the unspoken tensions in your family, or the fear of the future that creeps in when the house gets quiet. I see it all. I see the silent tears you cried when no one was looking. I hear the questions you are too afraid to ask out loud. You must understand the urgency of this season. You are standing at a crossroads, even if you do not realize it yet. The way you have been handling things, trying to fix everything in your own strength, trying to control every outcome, is draining the life out of you. You are tired, my beloved, deeply, spiritually tired. And that is why I had to intervene. That is why I had to pause your routine. I need you to hear me clearly, without the distraction of your notifications, without the worry of your to-do list, and without the voices of others telling you who you should be. Pause now. Take a deep breath. Do it. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, let your shoulders drop. Let the tension leave your jaw. Close your eyes for a second if you need to, and just be here with me. Do you feel that? That is my presence waiting for you to acknowledge it. I am not a distant God watching from a cloud. I am right here, closer than the air you breathe. I am sitting with you in this room. I am wrapping my love around you like a warm blanket on a cold night. I want you to feel safe enough to let your guard down. You do not have to perform for me. You do not have to pretend you have it all together. I want you to treat this message as a direct letter from home. This is not just words on a screen. This is a lifeline. You have been feeling like you are stuck in a room with a locked door, searching for a way out, searching for a breakthrough. My child, this message is the specific key for your current lock. I am about to speak truths into your spirit that will unlock the peace, the power, and the clarity you have been desperate for. But you must choose to listen. You must choose to shut out the world for these next few minutes and give me your full attention. Trust me when I say that you will want to hear every word I have to say. I am going to address the things that have been keeping you awake at night. I am going to speak to that fear that tells you you are failing. I am going to remind you of who you really are. So, settle in. Put aside your skepticism. Open your heart wide. I'm speaking. I'm here. And I love you too much to leave you the way I found you. Let us begin this journey together, right now. I need you to look at yourself through my eyes for a moment. I know what you see when you look in the mirror. You see the flaws, the aging, the scars of yesterday, and the exhaustion of today. You see a collection of mistakes and missed opportunities. You hear the voices of the world, the teachers who said you weren't smart enough, the bosses who said you weren't driven enough, or even the family members who made you feel small. But I am here to silence those lies right now. You are not what the world says you are. You are not a summary of your bank account, your job title, or your relationship status. You are my masterpiece. Do you realize how much intention went into making you? I did not create you on an assembly line. I knit you together in your mother's womb. I chose the color of your eyes, the sound of your laugh, and the unique way your mind works. I was there when you took your first breath, and I celebrated you. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. I do not make mistakes. I do not create accidents. If you are breathing right now, it is because I have a specific, unshakable purpose for your existence. You are a royal priesthood, a child of the Most High King. Stop walking through your life like a beggar, hoping for scraps of validation from people who do not even know themselves. You have royal blood flowing through your spiritual veins. I want you to separate your worth from your performance. This is the trap you have fallen into, thinking that if you fail at a task, you are a failure as a person. That is a lie from the enemy. Your value is settled at the cross. It is fixed. It is high. It is immutable. You could lose everything you own tomorrow, and your value to me would not drop by a single degree. You are my beloved. I see the shame you try to hide. I see the times you feel like an imposter, waiting to be found out. But I know the truth. I know the strength I placed inside you. Proclaim your identity today. Say it with me. I am who God says I am. You are not your past. You are not your trauma. You are not your addiction. You are my child. That bond is the foundation of your life. It is unbreakable. People may leave you. Friends may drift away. But I am your father, and I am going nowhere. I want you to walk with your head held high today. Not in arrogance, but in the quiet confidence of someone who knows who their father is. You belong to me. You are safe in my identity. Let that truth settle deep into your bones and displace the insecurity that has tried to set up camp in your heart. You are mine, and that changes everything. I see the weight you are carrying. I see how you woke up this morning, and before your feet even hit the floor, the heavy blanket of responsibility settled over you. You feel like you are the glue holding everyone and everything together. You worry that if you stop for even a second, your whole world will crumble. You are carrying the emotional load of your family, the financial pressure of your bills, the stress of your workplace, and the secret anxieties you don't tell anyone about. My child, look at me. That weight is crushing you because you were never designed to carry it. You are trying to play God in your own life, trying to control outcomes that are beyond your reach. I am issuing you an invitation right now, but it is also a command for your own survival. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Not just sleep, rest. To rest. I want you to visualize yourself taking that heavy backpack off your shoulders. I want you to physically feel the release. Unclench your jaw. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Open your hands. You have been gripping the steering wheel of your life so tight your knuckles are white. Let go. I am the one who holds the world together. I keep the planets in orbit. I command the tides. Do you think I cannot handle your mortgage? Do you think I am confused by your relationship struggles? I am big enough to handle your problems. The anxiety that kept you awake last night, staring at the ceiling, replaying scenarios that haven't even happened yet. Give that to me. It is a toxic waste that is poisoning your spirit. Exchange your heavy yoke for my light one. My yoke is easy. My burden is light. Walking with me should not feel like dragging a boulder up a mountain. It should feel like walking in stride with a strong father who is carrying the load for you. You do not have to be the hero of your story. I am the hero. You just need to be the trusting child. Surrender is not giving up. Surrender is giving over. It is the most powerful thing you can do. When you surrender control to me, you gain access to my peace. So, right now, in the quiet of this moment, name the burden. Is it your child? Is it your health? Is it your debt? Say it out loud, and then say, Father, I give this to you. It is too heavy for me. Feel the immediate relief of that transfer. I have it now. I am working on it. You can rest. You can breathe. I've got this. We need to have a serious conversation about love, because the world has taught you a twisted version of it. You have been taught that love is a transaction. You are loved if you are pretty, if you are successful, if you behave, if you provide. And because of that, you constantly feel like you are on probation with me. You think that when you mess up, I turn my back. You think when you yell at your kids or have a bad thought, I cross my arms in disappointment. My child, listen to the beat of my heart. My love for you is a gate. It is unconditional. It is not based on your performance. It is based on my character. There is absolutely nothing you can do to make me love you more, and there is nothing, absolutely nothing, you can do to make me love you less. My love is not a dimmer switch that goes up and down based on your behavior. It is a blazing sun that never sets. I loved you before the foundations of the world were laid. Before you ever did a good deed or a bad deed, I saw you and I love you. I chose you. You cannot earn a gift, my precious one. You can only receive it. Imagine the ocean. Stand on the shore and look at the horizon. Can you measure the water in the hollow of your hand? And that is how vast my love is for you. It drowns out your sin. It swallows up your shame. My love casts out fear. The reason you are afraid of punishment or rejection is that you haven't fully let my love in. You are still trying to protect yourself. But my love is a pursuing love. I am not sitting back waiting for you to clean yourself up before you come to me. I am the father running down the road to meet the prodigal son while he still smells like the pig pen. I am running to you. I love the real you. Not the polished version you put on Facebook. Not the Sunday best version. I love the you that cries in the shower. I love the you that has doubts. I love the you that struggles with temper. I love you because you are mine. Stop trying to buy my affection with good works. Stop punishing yourself for things I have already forgiven. Bathe in this truth today. Let it wash over you. You are deeply, profoundly, eternally loved by the Creator of the universe. And nothing can separate you from that love. Nothing. Let us deal with the shadow that follows you, fear. I know how it whispers to you. It tells you that you are going to lose everything. It tells you that you will end up alone. It tells you that the pain you are feeling is permanent. Fear is a liar. It is false evidence appearing real. It is a smokescreen used by the enemy to paralyze you, to keep you from stepping into the destiny I have for you. I have not given you a spirit of fear. If you are feeling fear, it did not come from heaven. I have given you a spirit of power, of love, and of a sound mind. My most frequent command in the scriptures is do not fear. Why do you think I say it so often? Because I know how prone you are to it. But do not fear is not just a rule. It is a promise of my protection. I am holding your right hand. Think about that physical connection. If the God who created galaxies is holding your hand, what exactly are you afraid of? What can man do to you? What can the economy do to you? I am your provider and your protector. I want you to expose the enemy's tactics right now. He uses what if to torture you. What if I get sick? What if I lose my job? What if my spouse leaves? These are scenarios that exist only in your imagination, but your body reacts as if they are real. Stop agreeing with the enemy. Stop watching the horror movie he projects in your mind. When the thought comes, capture it. Replace what if with even if. Even if I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Why? Because you are with me. My presence is the antidote to your fear. You are safe. I have hedged you in behind and before. I am a wall of fire around you. The things you are worrying about today, most of them will never happen. And the ones that do, I will give you the grace for them in the moment you need it, not a second before. Stop trying to borrow grace from tomorrow to fight imaginary battles today. Stand up. Shake off the spirit of heaviness. You are a warrior, not a victim. Walk in the power I have placed inside you. Fear has no place in a heart that is filled with faith. Evict it now. Do not turn away from me now. We have only just begun to peel back the layers of your pain, and to leave now is to leave the wound open and untreated. It grieves my heart deeply when you choose the distraction of the world over the healing of my presence. I am about to reveal the blueprint of your future. Do not walk out of the room while your Father is still speaking. Today, listen. Your breakthrough is in the very next breath. I know you feel confused about your life's direction sometimes. You look at where you thought you would be by this age, and you look at where you are, and there is a gap. You feel like you have wasted time, or that you missed your window of opportunity. You wonder if I have forgotten about you. Listen to my promise again, as if hearing it for the first time. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. I know the plans. You might not know them right now, but I do. And my blueprint is flawless. I am the architect of your life. An architect doesn't just throw bricks together. He designs with the end in mind. I see the end from the beginning. I see the full picture. You only see the pixel you are standing on. You are judging your entire life based on a difficult chapter. That is not fair to the story I am writing. What you see as a setback, I see as a setup. I am using this season of waiting, this season of struggle, to build character in you that you will need for the promotion that is coming. Trust me when the path is foggy. When you cannot see the next step, that is when you must listen to my voice the closest. You do not need to know the whole map. You just need to know the guide. I am leading you. I am closing doors that would have destroyed you, even if you banged on them begging for them to open. I am opening doors that no man can shut. Your timeline is not my timeline, but my timing is perfect. I am never late. I am never early. I am right on time. Do not give in to despair. Do not think your best days are behind you. That is a lie. Your future is filled with hope. I have surprises for you that you cannot even imagine. I have divine appointments set up in your future that will change everything in a moment. Keep walking. Keep trusting. Keep believing. You are exactly where I need you to be to get you to where I am taking you. The construction site is messy, but the building will be magnificent. Trust the architect. I am building something great in you. I'm Jehovah Rapha, the Lord who heals you. I want you to say that name out loud right now. Let it vibrate in the air around you. I am not just a God who watches you bleed. I am the physician who knows exactly how to close the wound. I see the deep emotional scars that you have been hiding from everyone else. You have become an expert at wearing a mask, haven't you? You smile when you want to scream. You say I'm fine when your heart is shattered into 1,000 pieces. But you do not have to pretend with me. I see the wounds that time has not healed. I see the betrayal that happened years ago that still stings when you think about it late at night. I see the words that were spoken over you as a child, words that labeled you, limited you, and hurt you, and I see how you are still carrying them today. I desire to heal your broken heart and bind up your wounds. But you must understand that my healing is not a superficial band-aid. I do not just cover up the infection. I draw it out. This process might be uncomfortable at first, just like cleaning a physical wound can sting, but it is necessary for true restoration. You have been trying to heal yourself by ignoring the pain, by distracting yourself with work, with entertainment, or even with substances. But ignoring a wound does not heal it. He only allows it to fester. I am calling you to bring the pain to me. Bring the memory that makes you cringe. Bring the rejection that made you feel worthless. Lay it on my altar. Healing is not just physical. It includes your memories and your emotions. I want to heal your timeline. I want to walk back with you to that moment of trauma, that moment when you felt unsafe, unloved, or abandoned, and I want to show you where I was. I was there, weeping with you. I was there, holding you together when you thought you were falling apart. You are not damaged goods. You are not ruined. You are a vessel being remade. I have a balm of Gilead, a spiritual medicine that can soothe the harshest burn and soften the hardest scar tissue. You must stop picking at the scab. Every time you replay the hurt in your mind, every time you stalk that person on social media, every time you rehearse the argument, you are reopening the wound. I am commanding you to stop. Let my spirit do the work. Let my peace settle over that memory like a cooling mist. I am making you whole, not just patched up. When I am finished with you, you will not just be a survivor. You will be more than a conqueror. The very place where you were wounded will become the place of your greatest strength. Your testimony will come from this test. Trust my hands. They are gentle and they are skilled. You are safe here. Let the healing begin. I am Jehovah Jireh, the Lord who provides. I know what you look at when you open your banking app. I know the sinking feeling in your stomach when the bills stack up higher than the income. I know the anxiety of inflation, the fear of debt, and the pressure to make ends meet. But I need you to lift your eyes from the calculator and look at me. I am the source. Your job is not your source. Your job is just a resource. I can use a job. I can use a gift. I can use a stranger. I can use a raven to feed you if I have to. My ways of getting resources to you are unlimited, and they are not bound by the economy of this world. Look at the lilies of the field. Look at the birds outside your window. Do they have 401ks? Do they stress about the stock market? Do they store up food in barns out of fear of starvation? No. Yet I feed them. I clothe them in splendor that outshines the greatest kings of history. And are you not much more valuable to me than they are? You are my child. I did not create you to starve. I did not create you to live in a constant state of lack and panic. When you worry about what you will eat, drink, or wear, you are acting like an orphan who has no father to care for them. But you are not an orphan. You have a father who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. I want you to change your mindset from scarcity to kingdom abundance. Scarcity says, I have to hoard this because there won't be any more. Scarcity says, I can't be generous because I'm barely making it. That is fear speaking. Kingdom abundance says, my God is a limitless ocean of supply. When you hold on to your money with a tight fist, nothing can get in and nothing can get out. Open your hands. Trust me. I am challenging you to trust me with your finances. I am not asking for your money because I need it. I am asking for your trust because I want to bless you. I promise to open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing that you will not have room enough to receive. But this requires you to walk in faith, not fear. It requires you to stop speaking poverty over your life. Stop saying I'll never get ahead. Stop saying I'm always broke. Those words are building fences that keep my blessings out. Tear down those fences with your faith. I am capable of canceling debts. I am capable of bringing promotion. I am capable of giving you a witty idea that creates wealth. But first, you must seek my kingdom. Put me first, and all these things will be added to you. I am your provider. Rest in that truth today. We need to clear the air between us, not because I am holding a grudge, but because you are. You are holding a grudge against yourself. I know the tape that plays in your head. It replays your biggest mistakes on a loop. It reminds you of the time you failed, the time you lied, the time you hurt someone you love. You think that because you remember it, I must still be angry about it. But listen to my decree. If you confess your sins, I am faithful and just to forgive them and to cleanse you from all unrighteousness. All means all. There is no asterisk. There is no exception clause. I have cast your sins as far as the east is from the west. You know how far that is. North and south eventually meet, but east and west never touch. That is how far I have removed your transgressions from you. I do not have a memory bank of your failures. When I look at you, I do not see your sin. I see the blood of my Son that covers you. You are washed white as snow. You are trying to pay a debt that has already been paid in full. Stop punishing yourself. Stop thinking that if you feel guilty enough for long enough, eventually you will earn your way back into my good graces. You are already there. There is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. Read that again. No condemnation. That heavy feeling of shame. That voice telling you you are dirty, unworthy, or a hypocrite. That is not my voice. That is the accuser of the brethren. I convict you to restore you. The enemy condemns you to destroy you. Learn the difference. My conviction feels like a light showing you a better way. The enemy's condemnation feels like a boot on your neck keeping you down. I am offering you a hand up, not a boot down. My grace is sufficient for you. It is enough. It covers every weakness, every stumble, every flaw. You cannot out-sin my grace. I am not surprised by your mistakes. I knew every sin you would ever commit before I called you, and I called you anyway. So accept my forgiveness. But more importantly, forgive yourself. You are holding a prisoner in the jail cell of your mind, and that prisoner is you. I have already unlocked the door. I have already signed the pardon. Walk out of the cell. Walk into the freedom of my grace. You are clean. You are new. You are free. You do not realize the power you hold in your mouth. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. You have been using your words to dig your own grave, and you don't even know it. You wake up and say, I'm so tired. You look at your bank account and say, I'll never get out of debt. You look at your challenges and say, this is going to kill me. My child, you are prophesying your own defeat. The universe listens to the words you speak. Your body listens to the words you speak. And I listen to the words you speak. You are the captain of your ship, and your tongue is the rudder. You are steering your life into the rocks with your own vocabulary. I command you to stop speaking curses over your life. Stop agreeing with the enemy. When you say I am sick, you are aligning with sickness. When you say I am weak, you are aligning with weakness. I want you to align your vocabulary with my promises. I want you to speak what I say about you, not what your circumstances say about you. This is not just positive thinking. This is spiritual warfare. This is how you fight. You take the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God, and you speak it out loud. Begin to prophesy to your dry bones. Look at the dead areas of your life, your dead dreams, your dry relationships, your stagnant career, and command them to live. Say, I am the head and not the tail. Say, I am blessed coming in and blessed going out. Say, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. When you speak these words, you are releasing power into the atmosphere. You are dispatching angels. You are shifting the spiritual climate of your home. I listen to the words you speak in the secret place. You not think your murmuring goes unheard, but I also hear your declarations of faith. I want you to call those things which be not as though they were. That is the definition of faith. You not wait until you see the breakthrough to speak it. Speak it until you see it. Change your confession, and you will change your life. Your words are containers of power. Fill them with life, fill them with hope, and fill them with truth. Start today. Watch your language, for it is creating your future. Wait. I feel your attention drifting, and I need you to bring it back to me. I am in the middle of performing spiritual surgery on your soul, and to stand up from the operating table now would be a tragedy. Do not disappoint my spirit by settling for half a miracle. The enemy wants you to click away because he fears what I am about to tell you next. Prove him wrong. Honor my voice with your time. I am about to show you how to navigate the storms ahead. My child, you have learned that your words carry the power of life and death, but hear me closely. Your offering carries the power of your future. You have declared the breakthrough with your mouth. Now, I call you to seal it with your seed. This ministry is fertile ground, a sanctuary where I am healing the broken and setting the captives free. And when you sow into this soil, you are not spending money. You are investing in the expansion of my kingdom. You not just speak the prophecy, back it with action, and prove that you trust me to be your source. As you support this mission through a super thanks, membership, or donation today, I declare that I will multiply the seed sown and increase the fruits of your righteousness. Do not let this moment of conviction pass. Become a partner in this harvest. Click the link or the heart icon now and watch how I open the windows of heaven over your obedience. I care deeply about who you walk with because who you walk with determines where you end up. I am in a season of pruning people from your life, and I know it hurts. You are trying to hold on to relationships that have expired. You are trying to keep people close who are actually hindering your growth. You wonder why there is conflict, why there is distance, why things feel off with certain friends or family members. It is because I am unsettling the nest. I am removing the people who cannot go where I am taking you. They were there for a season, but they are not equipped for your destiny. Let them go. You must be equally yoked. You cannot walk in unity with someone who is pulling in the opposite direction. If you are running toward me, and they are running toward the world, the tether will eventually snap. Do not fear the solitude that comes with this pruning. It is better to walk alone with me than to walk in a crowd that is leading you off a cliff. I am clearing the space so I can bring the right people in. I am sending a Jonathan to your David, a true covenant friend who will sharpen you, encourage you, and fight for you, not against you. But I also have a difficult command for you regarding the people who have hurt you. Forgive them. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. I know this is hard. I know you want justice. But holding on to bitterness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Unforgiveness blocks your arteries. It stops the flow of my blessings. Forgive them, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Release them to me. I am the righteous judge. I will handle it. Guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of life. You need to set boundaries. It is not a sin to protect your peace. You can love people from a distance. You can forgive someone without trusting them again immediately. Wisdom is knowing who has access to your inner circle. Give me the keys to your relationships. Let me decide who stays and who goes. Trust that if I remove someone, it is for your protection. And trust that when I bring new people, they will be the family your spirit has been longing for. Your circle is changing, but it is changing for your good. I need to revolutionize the way you view prayer. You have been treating prayer like a formal application to a distant bureaucrat, hoping it gets approved if you use the right fancy words. Or perhaps you treat it like a spare tire, something you only pull out when you have a flat tire on the highway of life. Listen to me. Prayer is not a ritual. It is a conversation with your Father. It is the lifeline that connects your spirit to my spirit. It is the oxygen of your soul. When you stop praying, you start suffocating spiritually. I want you to stop reciting empty phrases that you think I want to hear, and start pouring out your real heart. The power of prayer changes things in the spiritual realm long before you see the evidence in the physical realm. When you kneel in your bedroom, you are not just talking to the ceiling. You are shifting atmospheres. You are dispatching angels. You are dismantling strongholds that have been built up against your family for generations. You have a weapon in your mouth that is stronger than any nuclear arsenal on earth, yet you leave it sitting on the shelf. I command you to pick it up. Start praying with authority. Do not just pray about the mountain. Pray to the mountain and command it to move. I know there are times when you are so overwhelmed that you do not know what to pray. You feel the pain, but you cannot find the words. In those moments, do not stay silent. My spirit intercedes for you with groanings too deep for words. I understand the language of your tears. I understand the language of your sighs. Just sit in my presence and say, Father, help. That is a complete prayer. That is enough to move my hand. You must understand that I answer every single prayer. Sometimes the answer is yes, and you rejoice. Sometimes the answer is no, because I love you too much to give you something that would destroy you. And sometimes the answer is wait. The wait is the hardest for you to hear, but it is often the most necessary. In the waiting, I am preparing you to handle the weight of the blessing. Do not mistake my silence for absence. I am waiting. I am calling you back to the secret place. Matthew 6:6 is not a suggestion. It is a strategy. Find a quiet corner. Shut the door. Turn off the phone. Meet with me. The battles you are fighting publicly are won privately in that secret place. When you come to me in secret, I reward you openly. Your prayers are like sweet incense rising to my throne. I store them in golden bowls. Not a single prayer is wasted. Not a single tear is lost. Re-engage with me today. Let us talk. I have missed your voice. I know you are frustrated with the clock. You live in a world of instant gratification, instant messages, instant food, same-day delivery. You have been programmed to believe that if you have to wait, something is wrong. But in my kingdom, waiting is not a malfunction. It is a mechanism for growth. My timing is rarely your timing, but hear this truth. My timing is always perfect. I am never late. I am never early. I arrive exactly when I intend to. You are looking at a calendar. I am looking at eternity. Those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. Oh, the word renew. That means while you are waiting, you are not just sitting idle. You are exchanging your weakness for my strength. You are trading your panic for my peace. Patience produces character, and character produces hope. If I gave you everything you wanted the moment you wanted it, you would remain a spiritual infant. I am not raising spoiled children. I am raising warriors and kings. A waiting room is actually a classroom. What are you learning right now? Are you learning to trust me when your hands are empty? Do not try to force open doors that I have shut. You have bruised your shoulders ramming against doors that I locked for your protection. If a relationship didn't work out, if a job didn't come through, if an opportunity slipped away, let it go. Stop grieving over a closed door. If I wanted it open, no man on earth could have kept it shut. Trust that I see what is on the other side, and if I am keeping you out, it is because there is danger there, or because I have a better door down the hallway. There is a season for everything under heaven. Read Ecclesiastes 3 again. There is a time to plant and a time to harvest. You cannot plant a seed today and demand fruit tomorrow. That is not faith. That is foolishness. You must respect the process of growth. While you are waiting, I am working on your behalf. I am aligning people, resources, and opportunities that you do not even know exist. I am softening hearts. I am moving obstacles. Your current delay is not a denial. Let me repeat that. A delay is not a denial. The dream I placed in your heart will come to pass, but it will happen on my schedule, not yours. And when it happens, it will be sweeter and more sustainable because you waited for it. Do not rush the process. Do not take shortcuts. A shortcut often leads to a cliff. Stay on the path. Walk with me. We will get there, and when we do, you will see that the timing was flawless. It is time to wake up and realize that you are in a battle. The conflict you feel, the tension in your home, the chaos in your mind, the sudden waves of depression, is not just bad luck. It is spiritual warfare. The battle is not yours, but mine. However, you must show up to the field. You wrestle not against flesh and blood. Your spouse is not the enemy. Your boss is not the enemy. The political leader is not the enemy. You are fighting against spiritual darkness, against principalities that want to steal, kill, and destroy your destiny. Stop fighting people and start fighting the real enemy. I have given you armor, but you are walking onto the battlefield in your pajamas. Put on the full armor of God. Put on the belt of truth so you are not deceived by lies. Put on the breastplate of righteousness to guard your heart. Put on the shoes of peace so you can stand firm when the ground shakes. Lift up the shield of faith to extinguish the fiery darts of fear. Put on the helmet of salvation to protect your mind from intrusive thoughts. And take the sword of the Spirit, which is my word. You cannot fight the devil with your logic. You must fight him with my word. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. I did not say the weapon wouldn't be formed. The enemy will forge weapons. He will try to use slander, sickness, lack, and discouragement against you. But I promise you this: the weapon will not work. It will malfunction. It will not achieve its purpose. I have given you authority to trample on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy. Do you understand who you are? You are not a victim. You are a victor. The victory was already won at Calvary. When I said it is finished, I meant it. The enemy is defeated. He has no legal right to your life unless you give it to him. Stop agreeing with his lies. When he whispers that you are a failure, speak out loud, I am more than a conqueror. When he whispers that you will always be sick, declare, by his stripes, I am healed. You have the authority to evict him from your home. Stand firm. Do not give an inch of ground. If the enemy attacks your finances, sow a seed. If he attacks your marriage, love harder. If he attacks your mind, fill it with worship. Counterattack with the opposite spirit. You are on the winning side. I am the commander of the angel armies, and I am standing right beside you. The battle may be fierce, but the outcome is guaranteed. You win. I give you peace, not as the world gives. The world defines peace as the absence of trouble. They think peace is sitting on a beach with a full bank account and no problems. But that kind of peace is fragile. One phone call can shatter it. My peace is different. My peace is a fortress that stands in the middle of the war zone. My peace is the ability to sleep in a boat while the storm is raging, just as my son did. It is a supernatural stabilizer that keeps you steady when everything around you is shaking. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. This is a command. You have authority over your own heart. When anxiety starts to knock on the door of your chest, you have the right to leave the chain on the door. You do not have to invite panic in for dinner. The peace that surpasses all understanding will guard your heart and mind. Imagine a sentry, a soldier standing guard at the doorway of your mind, stopping every toxic thought and fear from entering. That is what my peace does. I am calling you to be still and know that I am God. The world is noisy. Your phone is noisy. Your own thoughts are noisy. You need to practice the discipline of stillness. Stop running. Stop striving. Just be. In the stillness, you will find me. I am not in the wind. I am not in the earthquake. I am in the still, small voice. If you are always running at 100 miles per hour, you will miss what I am saying. Peace is a fruit of the Spirit. It is available to you right now. It is growing inside you. You just need to tap into it. Stop looking for peace in a person. Stop looking for peace in a pill. Stop looking for peace in a changed circumstance. I am the Prince of Peace. If you have me, you have peace. It is who I am. I want you to breathe in right now. As you inhale, imagine breathing in my shalom, wholeness, wellness, peace. As you exhale, blow out the stress, the worry, the what-ifs. You it again. I am calming the storm inside you. The waves are settling down. The wind is dying out. You are safe. You are held. Let my peace saturate every cell of your body. I am asking you to pause and look at me. Do not silence my voice to return to the noise that drained you in the first place. It breaks my heart when I offer you a feast and you choose to eat the crumbs of the world. You are halfway to a total transformation, but you must finish the race. If you leave now, you leave your armor on the floor. I am begging you, do not abandon this encounter. A secret to your freedom is coming next. You cannot drive forward while staring in the rearview mirror. If you keep looking back, you are going to cry. I need you to let go of the past. I need you to release the good old days, and I need you to release the bad old days. Both of them are traps. Remember Lot's wife. She was delivered from destruction, but she made the fatal mistake of looking back at what I was destroying. She turned into a pillar of salt, frozen, stagnant, preserved in a moment of time she was supposed to escape. Do not be like her. Do not get stuck in what was. I am doing a new thing. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. But you cannot receive the new thing if your hands are full of the old thing. You are holding on to regret. You are holding on to guilt. You are holding on to I should have done this or I shouldn't have said that. Stop it. The past is a lesson, not a life sentence. You have learned from it. Now you must graduate from it. Release the regret. You did the best you could with the knowledge you had at the time. If you could have done better, you would have. Forgive your younger self. I have already forgiven you. Why do you hold yourself to a higher standard than God does? It is pride. Let it go. Release the bitterness against those who hurt you back then. They are living rent-free in your head. Evict them. Today is the day of new mercies. My mercies are new every morning. That means you start with a clean slate today. You are not defined by who you were 10 years ago, or even who you were yesterday. You are defined by who you are becoming in me. I am the God of the fresh start. I am the God of the resurrection. I can take the dead dreams of your past and breathe new life into them, or I can give you a completely new dream that is better than the first one. Sever the soul ties with your past. Visualize yourself cutting the rope that ties you to the dock of yesterday. Push off into the deep waters of faith. The horizon is in front of you, not behind you. Your future is bright, but you have to turn around to see it. Eyes front, my child. Eyes front. I have great things in store for you, but you must be present to receive them. I need to teach you how to see in the dark. That is what faith is. You have been trained by the world to believe only what you can touch, see, and verify with data. You want the roadmap before you start the car. You want the guarantee before you sign the paper. But I do not work that way. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Notice the word substance. Faith is not a wispy, wishful feeling. It is concrete. It is real. It is the currency of my kingdom. Without faith, it is impossible to please me, not because I am difficult, but because without faith, you cannot receive what I am trying to give you. You are standing on the edge of a miracle, but you are afraid to step off the ledge because you cannot see the net. I am the net. You must walk by faith, not by sight or feelings. Your feelings are volatile. They change with the weather, with your blood sugar, with a news cycle. If you wait until you feel like trusting me, you will never move. Faith is a decision. It is looking at the mountain of debt, the mountain of sickness, or the mountain of brokenness in your family, and saying to it, move. I told you that faith the size of a mustard seed, just a tiny, insignificant speck, can move mountains. You do not need great faith. You just need faith in a great God. Stop looking at the size of your problem and start looking at the size of your Father. I am calling you to step out of the boat. Remember Peter? He did the impossible. You walked on water, defying the laws of physics, as long as he kept his eyes locked on me. But the moment he looked at the wind and the waves, the moment he looked at his circumstances, he began to sink. You are doing the same thing. You start a new venture with faith, but then you look at the bank account, you look at the competition, and you start to sink. Fix your eyes on me. I am the author and finisher of your faith. I started this good work in you, and I will complete it. Faith is trusting me when the outcome is uncertain to you. It is easy to trust when the sun is shining and the bills are paid. But I am looking for the faith that praises me in the hallway while the door is still shut. I am looking for the faith that plants seeds in a drought. That is the kind of faith that gets my attention. I want you to take a risk. Apply for that job you don't feel qualified for. Start that ministry. Forgive that person. Do be afraid. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is faith in action despite the fear. I promise you that I will catch you. I have never dropped anyone who leaped into my arms. The ground may feel unstable, but underneath are the everlasting arms. You are safe, but you have to move. You cannot steer a parked car. Put your life in drive, take your foot off the brake of fear, and press the gas pedal of faith. I am right here in the passenger seat, guiding you. Let's go. You are never, ever alone. I need you to grasp this truth, because loneliness is an epidemic in your world. You can be surrounded by people and still feel completely isolated. But I have solved that problem. I have left you a helper. I did not leave you, as orphans, to figure this life out by yourselves. I sent my Spirit, the Holy Spirit, to dwell inside of you. He is not a ghost, he is a person. He is my presence, active and alive, living in the very center of your being. He is closer than your skin. He knows your thoughts before you think them, and He knows your needs before you whisper them. The Holy Spirit guides you into all truth. Have you ever had a gut feeling that saved you from a bad decision? Have you ever felt a sudden urge to call someone, only to find out they were in crisis? That was not a coincidence. That was my spirit navigating you. I want you to tune into that frequency. The world is screaming at you with loudspeakers, but my spirit often speaks in a still, small voice. You have to quiet the noise to hear Him. He is whispering direction to you right now. He is whispering, go left, wait, speak up, be still. Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. Think about the gravity of that statement. The same power that raised Christ from the dead lives inside of your mortal body. You are a walking tabernacle. Treat yourself with respect. Stop talking down to yourself. Stop abusing your body with substances or neglect. You are housing the divine. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere should shift because God just walked in with you. You carry the light that scatters the darkness. I want you to rely on my power, not your own strength or intellect. You are exhausted because you are trying to run a marathon on your own fumes. You are trying to figure out complex problems with your limited logic. Stop it. Ask my spirit for wisdom. Ask Him for strength. He is the dynamo, the dynamic power that fuels your life. When you are weak, He is strong. When you run out of patience, He has an endless supply. Allow the Spirit to produce fruit in your life. You cannot force yourself to be patient or loving or joyful by sheer willpower. That is behavior modification, and it doesn't last. But when you yield to the Spirit, He produces this fruit naturally. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. These are not rules to follow. They are the result of a relationship. Lean into Him. Say, Holy Spirit, to take the wheel. I can't handle this situation, but you can. Watch how He takes over. Watch how He gives you the right words to say in a difficult meeting. Watch how He gives you peace in a traffic jam. He is your best friend. Get to know Him. I need to correct a misunderstanding you have about your life. You think your purpose is something you find, like a set of lost keys. But your purpose is not lost. It is built into you. You are the light of the world, a city set on a hill that cannot be hidden. I did not design you to blend in. I did not design you to be a beige copy of everyone else. I designed you to stand out, to shine, to be a beacon of hope in a dark culture. You have a specific assignment that only you can fulfill. I have given you specific talents. Do not bury them. Do not dig a hole in the ground of fear and hide the gifts I gave you. You might think, but I'm not a preacher. I'm not a singer. I'm just an accountant. Or I'm just a mother. There is no just in my kingdom. Your accounting skills can bring integrity to a business. Your parenting is raising the next generation of kingdom warriors. Your ability to listen is a healing balm to a broken soul. Use what you have. If you can cook for my glory. If you can build for my glory. Your misery often points to your ministry. This is a hard truth, but a powerful one. The things you have suffered, the addiction you overcame, the grief you walked through, the rejection you survived, those are the very areas where I want to use you to help others. You have authority in the area of your pain. You can speak to someone going through divorce differently because you have been there. You can help someone in debt because you have walked that road. Do not waste your pain. I want to turn your mess into a message. You are called to serve others as I came to serve. Greatness in my kingdom is not measured by how many people serve you, but by how many people you serve. Look around you. Who needs encouragement today? Who needs a meal? Who needs a smile? The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. I am calling you to labor. I am calling you to clock in. You are my hands and my feet on this earth. Will you hug someone? I am hugging them. When you give to someone, I am giving to them. Your life has a ripple effect that touches eternity. You may never know on this side of heaven how much your life mattered. That small word of encouragement you gave a stranger, it kept them from giving up that prayer you prayed for your child. It set a hedge of protection around them for decades. You are powerful. You are significant. Stop playing small. Step into your calling. The world is waiting for the real you to show up. I want to talk to you about the key that unlocks the vault of heaven: obedience. You often view obedience as a restriction, a set of do-nots that keep you from having fun. But obedience is not a cage. It is a safety rail. It is designed to keep you from falling off the cliff. Obedience is better than sacrifice. I am not impressed by your religious rituals if your heart is rebellious. I am not impressed by how loud you sing in church if you are refusing to forgive your neighbor. I want your heart. I want your yes. When you listen to my voice, blessings overtake you. Read Deuteronomy 28. It says that if you obey me, blessings will chase you down and tackle you. You won't have to chase success. Success will chase you. You will be blessed in the city and blessed in the field. Blessed coming in and blessed going out. This is the legal right of an obedient child. But you have to listen. You have to follow the instructions. Sometimes I will ask you to do things that do not make logical sense. I might tell you to give money away when you are in debt. I might tell you to apologize when you were the one who was wronged. I might tell you to stay in a job when you want to quit. This is the test. Will you trust my logic over your own? My ways are higher than your ways. I can see the chessboard. I know that the move I am asking you to make, even if it looks like a sacrifice, is actually setting you up for a checkmate against the enemy. Delayed obedience is still disobedient. When I tell you to move, do not say, "I'll do it next year." Do not negotiate with me. Part obedience is also disobedient. I want you to trust me enough to follow my commands immediately and fully. It brings true freedom. The most miserable believers are the ones who have one foot in the kingdom and one foot in the world. They have too much of the world to be happy in Jesus, and too much of Jesus to be happy in the world. Come all the way in. I reward those who diligently seek and obey me. I am a rewarder. I love to bless my children. It gives me joy to give you the kingdom. But I need you to be in position to receive it. Obedience positions you under the spout of my blessing. If you move away from my covering, you are standing in the rain without an umbrella. Come back under the covering. Say yes to the last thing I told you to do. Watch how quickly the atmosphere changes. You are so close to the finish line. Do not stop running now. To walk away when the full blessing is within reach would be a sorrow that echoes in heaven. I have saved the most potent, life-altering promises for the end of our time together. Do not let fatigue rob you of the final seal I want to place on your heart. Stay with me. Finish strong. Your obedience in these last few moments will determine the victory of your tomorrow. We have spoken of the blessings that overtake the obedient, and now I place a divine invitation before you to activate that law in your own life. You have fed from this table, and your spirit has been strengthened by this word. Now, I ask you to ensure that this table remains full for the millions who are still starving for my truth. When you honor the vessel that brings you water in the desert, you open a flow of favor that the world cannot understand. Giving is the antidote to the spirit of fear and scarcity that has tried to bind you. I challenge you to test me in this. As I spoke in Malachi, bring your offering into my storehouse. Use the super thanks or the PayPal link below, and see if I will not pour out a blessing so great you cannot contain it. Do not hesitate. Step into the cycle of kingdom abundance right now. The world chases happiness, but I offer you joy. Happiness is a cheap substitute. Happiness depends on happenings. If the weather is good, if the team wins, if the check clears, you are happy. But if those things change, happiness evaporates like mist. The joy of the Lord is your strength. Joy is a deep underground river that flows regardless of the weather on the surface. You can be in the middle of a crisis and still have joy. You can be in a hospital room and still have joy. Why? Because your joy is anchored in me, and I do not change. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. I know you have been weeping. I know the night hath been long and dark, but I am the God of the sunrise. The morning is coming. The darkness has an expiration date. I am getting ready to turn your mourning into dancing. I am getting ready to replace the garment of heaviness with the garment of praise. You need to prepare for the turnaround. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again I say, rejoice. This is a command, not a suggestion. Rejoice is a verb. It is something you do. You have to choose to rejoice. When you wake up and you don't feel like it, rejoice anyway. Turn on worship music. List 3 things you are grateful for. Gratitude is the gateway to joy. You cannot be stressed and thankful at the same time. Force your mind to focus on the good. Focus on what I have done, not on what you have lost. My joy remains in you so that your joy may be full. I want you to be full, not half empty, not running on fumes. I want you to bubble over with a joy that confuses the world. They will look at you and ask, how can you be smiling when you are going through this? And that will be your opportunity to point them to me. Your joy is your greatest witness. It is your greatest weapon against the enemy. The devil wants to steal your joy because he knows it is your strength. If he can make you depressed, he can make you weak. Do not let him have it. Count it all joy when you fall into various trials. That sounds crazy, doesn't it? But you can have joy in the trial because you know the trial is working for you. It is refining you like gold. It is burning off the impurities. You are going to come out of this fire shining brighter than before. So, laugh at the future. Smile at the obstacle. I am with you, and in my presence, there is fullness of joy. Drink deep from this well today. I want to address the fear that creeps in when you turn on the news or when you are alone in the dark. You live in a world that sells fear. Every headline, every alert on your phone, every conversation seems to scream that danger is around every corner. You worry about your physical safety, the safety of your children, and the security of your home. You check the locks. You watch your surroundings. You carry a low-level hum of anxiety that something bad is about to happen. But I am here to tell you that you do not have to live like a hunted animal. I am your hiding place. I am your shield. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High abides in my shadow. Let's talk about the shadow. To be in someone's shadow, you have to be close to them. Very close. If you are standing a mile away from me, you are exposed to the scorching heat of the sun. But when you come close, when you press into my presence through prayer and trust, you step into my shadow. In that shadow, the heat cannot burn you. The enemy cannot spot you. You are covered. I want you to visualize this. My presence is a dome of protection over you and your household. I promise to cover you with my feathers. Under my wings, you find refuge. This is not just poetic language. It is a promise of fierce, parental protection. Have you ever seen a mother bird protect her young in a storm? She spreads her wings, and the chicks huddle underneath. The rain hits her, the wind hits her, the cold hits her, but the chicks stay dry, warm, and safe. I am taking the hit for you. I am absorbing the blows of life so that you don't have to. When the storms of life rage, financial storms, health storms, relational storms, do not run out into the rain. Run under my wings. Stay there. Stay close to me. 1,000 may fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. I know you look around and see people falling. You see marriages collapsing, health failing, and businesses going under. And the enemy whispers, "You're next." I command you to silence that voice. You are not a statistic. You are a covenant child of God. Just because it happened to them does not mean it will happen to you. You have a different covering. You have a bloodline protection that goes back to Calvary. I give my angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways. You cannot see them, but they are there. If I were to open your spiritual eyes right now, you would see that there are more with you than there are against you. My angels are encamped around your house. They are guarding your children when they go to school. They are watching over you on the highway. You are never unguarded. You have a security detail that never sleeps, never takes a break, and never misses a threat. I am your fortress, your high tower, and your deliverer. A fortress is not a tent. It is stone. It is solid. It is impenetrable. When you feel overwhelmed, run into the fortress of my name. Stop trying to fight the battle in the open field where you are vulnerable. Get behind the walls of my protection. And tonight, when you lay your head down, I command you to sleep in peace. I neither slumber nor sleep, so you don't have to stay awake worrying. I am on the night watch. Close your eyes, exhale the fear, and rest in the absolute certainty that I am keeping you safe. Life is full of choices, and I know you are tired of trying to guess which door is the right one. You face decisions every day about your career, your relationships, your finances, and your family. You are terrified of making a mistake. You are paralyzed by the fear that you might turn left when you should have turned right and ruin everything. You spend hours researching, overthinking, and asking for advice, but you still feel confused. My child, stop leaning on your own understanding. Your logic is limited. Your perspective is limited. But my wisdom is infinite. If you lack wisdom, ask of me, and I will give it to you liberally. I am not stingy with guidance. I want you to know the way. I am not hiding the map from you. I am waiting for you to ask for the compass. Wisdom is different from knowledge. You can Google knowledge. You can only get wisdom from my spirit. Knowledge tells you how to do a thing. Wisdom tells you if you should do it. Knowledge fills your head. Wisdom guides your steps. Come to me with your questions. Sit with me in the quiet. I will download the answers into your spirit. It might come as a thought you didn't think, a piece about a decision, or a scripture that jumps off the page. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. This is the hardest part for you because you love your understanding. You love to analyze the data. But your understanding can only see the facts. I can see the future. I know which job looks good on paper but will destroy your soul. I know which relationship feels exciting now but will lead to heartbreak. When I say no to something that looks good to you, trust me. When I say go when it looks risky, trust me. I will direct your paths if you acknowledge me in all your ways. Before you sign the contract, Acknowledge me. Before you send the text, acknowledge me. Invite me into the decision-making process. I want you to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. This means you need to be sharp. You need discernment. The world is full of wolves in sheep's clothing. People will come into your life with smiles on their faces but daggers in their hearts. You need to be able to discern the spirits. Do not judge by appearances. Do not be impressed by charisma or titles. Listen to the check in your spirit. If something feels off, it is off. That is the Holy Spirit waving a red flag. Pay attention to it. I gave you that intuition for a reason. My wisdom is pure, peaceable, gentle, and full of mercy. If the wisdom you are hearing is chaotic, fearful, or driving you to hurt people, it is not from me. My guidance brings peace. Even if the path is difficult, you will have a deep, settling peace in your gut that you are going the right way. Stop letting the noise of the world drown out my voice. Turn down the volume of others' opinions. Tune into my frequency. I am guiding you. I am navigating you. You are not lost. You are being led. Trust the guide. I need you to lift your eyes from the temporary and look at the eternal. You get so caught up in the struggles of the here and now, the bills, the politics, the aging body, that you forget this world is not your final home. You are a pilgrim here. You are a traveler passing through a foreign land. That feeling of restlessness you have, that feeling that you don't quite fit in, that is because you were made for another world. You were made for my kingdom. Do not drive your stakes too deep into this soil. Do not get too attached to things that rust and fade. I have gone to prepare a place for you in my Father's house. I want you to think about that. I, the creator of the universe, am acting as your personal architect and interior designer. I know what you love. I know what brings you joy. And I am preparing a place specifically for you. It is not a generic room. It is a home tailored to your soul. If I made this world so beautiful with its mountains and oceans and sunsets, imagine what I can do with a place where sin and curse do not exist. It will be beyond your wildest imagination. There will be a day with no more tears, no more pain, and no more death. I want you to let that sink in. No more cancer. No more depression. No more goodbyes. No more funerals. I will personally wipe every tear from your eyes. The things that have broken your heart in this life will be healed instantly in my presence. The heavy burden of survival will be lifted off your shoulders forever. You will be light. You will be free. You will be whole. Keep your eyes fixed on things above, not on earthly things. When you focus on eternity, your current problems shrink. They are light and momentary troubles compared to the eternal weight of glory that is waiting for you. This perspective shift changes how you live today. It makes you brave. It makes you generous. It makes you forgiving. Why hold on to a grudge when you are going to live forever in love? Why hoard money when you are walking on streets of gold? Live with the end in mind. Your inheritance is imperishable and kept in heaven for you. The economy cannot touch your inheritance. Thieves cannot steal it. It is secure. And the best part of eternity is not the streets of gold or the pearly gates. It is that we will be together forever. No more veil between us. No more praying to an invisible God. You will see my face. You will walk with me in the cool of the day. You will know me as fully as I know you. This is the hope that anchors your soul. Hold on to it tight. The best is truly yet to come. We have come to the end of this conversation, but it is really just the beginning of your new walk with me. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I started the good work in you, and I will be the one to finish it. I want you to look back at the words we have shared. These were not just nice thoughts. They were spiritual seeds planted in the soil of your heart. And I promise you this, my word shall not return to me void. It will accomplish what I sent it to do. It will grow. It will bear fruit. I am sealing these words in your heart right now. Imagine a king placing his signet ring into hot wax on a document. That seal signifies authority, worship, and authenticity. I am placing my seal upon your spirit. The enemy cannot snatch these truths away from you. Doubt cannot erase them. When you feel the fear coming back, touch the seal. Remember what I said. Remember the I am is with you. I am sealing your identity as my child. I am sealing your destiny as a victor. Go forward with confidence, for I am with you always. You are not leaving my presence as you finish reading this script. You are taking my presence with you. Take me into your workplace. Take me into your grocery store. Take me into your difficult conversations. I am walking right beside you. I am in you. You are a carrier of the glory of God. Shoulders back. Head up. You have the backing of heaven. My face shines upon you and gives you peace. Receive the benediction of your Father. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. Receive it. Drink it in. Let it settle your nerves and calm your mind. You are covered. You are loved. You are equipped. It is finished. It is done. And you are mine. Do not look back. The past is under the blood. The future is in my hands. And the present is a gift I am giving you right now. Walk in it. Live in it. Rejoice in it. I love you with an everlasting love. Amen. You have received the seal of my promise and the comfort of my presence. But lift your eyes, for there are multitudes still walking in the shadow of death who desperately need this same light. Do not let the river of my grace stop with you. Become a conduit that carries this healing to the ends of the earth. Your support is not merely a donation. It is a lifeline to a soul on the brink of despair, a rescue mission for a heart that has forgotten how to hope. I am inviting you to partner with me in saving souls. Lay up for yourself treasures in heaven where moth and rust do not destroy. By becoming a member or giving through the link in the description, you are shouting yes to the Great Commission and securing your legacy in my kingdom. The hour is late, and the harvest is ripe. Move with urgency and sow your best gift today. Do not let this moment fade without driving a stake of faith into the ground. I call you to seal this word right now. As a prophetic act of your total surrender, declare in the comments below, I trust you, Father. By writing these words, you are not just typing a comment, you are signing a spiritual contract that gives me permission to intervene in your situation immediately. Do not hide your faith in the shadows. Declare it boldly before the world, and watch how quickly I move on your behalf. This is your moment of agreement. Claim it now. Amen.